Anthony on satellite radio. Host Anthony Cumia and Greg Opie. Controversial team. And Anthony apologizing for yet another raunchy comment, profanity-laced rant. Is this the last straw for the raunchy Radio Duo?
Yay! Pudding!
The greatest show on satellite radio today.
It's entertaining as fuck. How many people are screaming at their radios right now?
It doesn't get better than this.
It's just the stupidest, most fun. I can't get enough of this.
I would eat your poo.
Let's be honest with each other. No one's doing better radio than this.
We rule. Google it.
You're fucking right. Simple as that.
Fucking believe it. This is radio. Radio.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Good morning.
Hello.
You going through the DVDs that Steve brought in today?
Yes, he said that they sent these parody after we did the piece on I guess porn names.
Yeah.
Hustler Video just sent a bunch to us. But he goes, they can't be used as giveaways. And the postal regulations, and he's right. You cannot use these.
You can't mail those?
No. That is how you go to jail.
Oh, really?
Or they try to put you in jail, yeah.
Even just by taking this, right, and mailing it out?
It could be a problem if that, quote-unquote, the community standards argument, which is the same one they fuck radio people with. The community standards argument is how they tried to get Staliano, I believe. But it's not anymore... like, on the internet now they go after you.
Yeah.
Like, if I can access that in my community, it's all terrible. It's sickening.
What's wrong? It's just a woman here sucking a big black cock.
Nothing wrong with that. Everything right about it.
What community doesn't like that?
What's going on with Steve and these DVDs? I know we've been joking about it, but what the fuck is up?
Is there a kickback,
Yeah,
Steve? Here comes Steve.
What's up with all the DVDs? The shitty DVDs?
Oh, the shitty ones? Those are... Well,
no, they're all shitty DVDs. Every once in a while, you give us one that is kind of cool. But what's up?
Auto mail lists, they just send you everything. And a lot of what comes through is just these direct-to-DVD things where you look at them and you're like, what the hell am I going to do with this? And sometimes they...
Are you calling these companies asking for shitty DVDs, or are they just...
No, I call up the companies and say, listen, we want to do giveaways sometimes. We want to know about what shows you have coming up. Just, is there a mailing list you can put us on? And then, boom, it just starts showing up. And a lot of what shows up is crap.
Right.
And some of what shows up is okay. And that's what you guys get for giveaways. And this is just a result of you guys talking about... the porn parodies last week. That was the day you were out. They did a whole segment on...
Yeah, I figured that out already.
All right.
We did it, right?
Yeah.
So we get like a dozen fucking parody kind of hustler, I guess, put these out, huh? Wonderful.
Yeah.
There you go.
Let's divvy them up. Maybe the three of us can get together and watch one. On a couch.
Who's bringing the cracker?
I'm gonna put my cracker hat on. Can I say, by the way, as we start, I saw Colin's show last night.
Oh, you finally did?
Yeah, scheduling has not allowed me to. It was fucking great. He had a really good crowd for a Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's about 95% full.
Did the manager give him a smile?
Yeah. And Colin said, he knows that it's me. We all spit on him. But it was so fucking good, man. It was. I knew it would be funny because he's not going to put out some hack shit. Mm-hmm. But it's an hour and 15 minutes of world history. But it's not only he.
Yeah.
Could make that funny and interesting for an hour. I couldn't believe it was a fucking hour gone. It was great, man.
It goes by real fast.
I've yet to see that.
Long story short,
see it.
you have to, dude. It's been extended till sometime early September.
Oh, great.
At the Bleecker 45 Theater on Bleecker Street. It's a fucking amazing space to see a show. And it's a small theater.
Small theater. There's like one guy that runs the place. He rips up your ticket. He intros the show, and then he runs to the back to start the light show.
It was so good.
I'm not even joking.
Yeah, no, you're not.
All of a sudden, the guy panics and starts running. I'm like, where's he going? Oh, he has to run the AV equipment at the top of the theater.
Yeah, that's his job, everything.
I would like to see this go, maybe a little uptown or onto HBO for Colin Quinn.
It should do something. Something's going to happen with it because it's fucking so smart, and he ties in a lot of history. It's basically proving that we're the same fucking behemoth we've always been. It's tying in a lot of history with who we are now, and it's flawless. It flows perfectly.
Yeah.
It's an inarguable logic that he kind of comes at you with. It's fucking great, man.
I had one critique. I don't like how he sips his tea in between eras.
Oh, yeah, well, that's how you know it's time for another era, is that the lights go down and Colin takes a sip of tea.
Colin goes to his chair that he doesn't sit down in at all, and then an antique table, and he has a tea.
A little cup of tea.
And he looks at his notes real fast and takes a sip of tea and then turns around and does the next scene. The tea thing was bothering me.
There was a part of me that wanted to spin kick the tea into his teeth.
Right.
There's one part where Colin he sits in the chair very briefly. And he sat on the back of it for a second. I forget what he was talking about. It was something, and he sat on the back and put his feet on the actual cushions. And the flash in my mind was, oh God, let him fall back.
Oh, just the thing tips backwards.
I didn't want him to die, just to fall back.
Just fall backwards on his skull, on his big Irish head.
But it's really great. Go online; it's very easy to get tickets to find. Just Bleecker 45. It's one word.
It really is a great show.
And,
great show, one-man show.
I think he does 3 a week. One Wednesday, and then I want to say 2 Saturday. I don't know if he does Friday shows.
Colin.
Yeah, so.
I'm
glad you saw that finally, Jimmy.
Yeah, I had.
Oh.
You're dropping all the DVDs.
The DVDs are falling all over the floor.
Because Steve just piles them up.
Here you go. Jerk off while you're doing the show.
I do. Oh my God, that's record time now.
I forgot what I was going to say.
He deserves to have the best there, Colin. You know, the guy is just a funny motherfucker anytime I've seen him. And I don't think mainstream media and everything has really picked up on how fucking brilliant the guy is.
I think they know, but the thing, it's a weird, and again, it's nobody says it. Nobody actually, no two guys ever sat down and went, man, Colin really attacks a lot of the ideologies that we kind of think are sacred. Mm-hmm. Let's not review him, or let's ignore him, or because you can't say he's not funny. You can't, nobody can, even scumbag journalists have to have some integrity. So they just kind of ignore it. And it's kind of like an unspoken thing. Mm-hmm. It's like, because he's just destroying all these little ideological things that they worship, and he handles Islam really fucking great. He doesn't attack it in a shitty way, but he's extremely accurate and funny about it, and it's like that's the way you should talk about Islam.
He's very balanced as far as beating everybody up. So
he doesn't.
It's a perfect project for him.
He doesn't allow. This is why Colin's great, because his anger. He doesn't allow his anger to block what he's doing. Like, it'll come in, but he doesn't allow it to wreck or taint the fucking bit he's doing. He still gives you a full picture of something, even though I know personally how he feels about it. It's just a great thing as a performer. I can't do that. I get too angry, and that's my idea of a great joke. What the fuck? You know, and I fall apart.
You punctuate with what the fuck?
Yeah, it's childish, dude. It's like, it's like that's what you want to.
Someone's going to be called a whore.
Yeah, it's silly.
What are you going to do?
But there's not one comic that would watch that and not just be blown away. But not one fucking working comic would watch that and not go, fuck.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to get bigger and better, too.
Yeah, so congratulations.
I see that ending up on HBO or Showtime or something for him.
If it doesn't, there's so many one-man shows that are filmed. And look, Leguizamo's a funny guy, and they film a lot of one-man show. If somebody doesn't shoot this and show it, it's clean enough for fucking almost any network. Mm-hmm. I mean, NBC maybe not, but any cable network, especially HBO, it's not filthy. It's not even dirty.
No, it's very clever.
Yeah,
very clever. So
there's something very wrong if this doesn't go somewhere.
Enough kissing that jackass's ass.
Oh, believe me, my goal is to get it or to find out that it's been picked up by HBO or Showtime, and then he's on his way to tape, and a fucking dump truck runs him over. That's what I'm rooting for.
I hope they tell him he can't have his tea.
Yeah,
and that's his crutch, and he can't do the show without his tea.
Samson's hair, his tea.
Or opening night, he's doing it, and the first couple of jokes are destroying, and he takes a sip, and the tea bag goes down his throat, and he chokes, and they have to stop production.
Poor Colin.
Enough about the tea.
Oh, he loves that goddamn tea.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The season premiere. I got that in front of me too from Steve.
Yes.
Great, thanks.
Wonderful.
It's Always Cummy in Philadelphia. That's the parody.
I'll be right back. I'm going to Philadelphia.
I'll play Sunny. You be Phil and you be Delphia.
No, it's really good. And any goof on him is fantastic.
I have another Discovery Channel DVD. Would you like it? The premiere is 2 weeks ago.
I have season 1. Yeah, the show's been over for 5 years. Oh. I was watching that goddamn, and I hate these shows, but I couldn't stop the Monster Inside Us thing. We've been talking about that.
I thought you said you wouldn't watch that show.
I wouldn't, but I got stuck watching it. I was all, frightened.
The Monster Within or the Monster Inside?
Inside Us. It's all about bacterias and fucking parasites that get into your body and fuck you up. And they do, this whole CGI microscopic thing and show what the bugs are doing inside you and shit. Mm. Oh, my God. And no matter what they're talking about, I feel like, I could get that. I don't want to get that. That's some girl, and she's walking around, and she gets a little bite on the bottom of her foot. And I'm like, I've gotten that.
Everyone's gotten that.
And it's itching one day, and it's like, yeah, and it itches. And then it starts going away, and then it comes back worse and worse. And then a couple of weeks later, she looked at it, and it was like this bubble on the bottom of her foot, and something inside was moving.
Holy
shit.
No! What was that?
I was freaking out. It was fly larvae again.
Fly larvae.
Them fucking flies are laying their maggots everywhere.
Then why don't we fucking kill all the flies?
I wish we could.
Let's exterminate them.
We got to watch out for those. And then some other nutty guy. This one, it didn't even seem like it belonged in this show. But he's gardening, landscaping with his brother, and they're cutting down these big bushes, and a bunch of bees come out and sting the fuck out of this guy.
Okay.
So I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's a parasite show, and it's talking about bee stings and shit. So the guy starts going into, this allergic reaction. He can't breathe. They take him to the hospital. I guess they give him epi, and then he's fine. Mm-hmm. But they realize he's allergic to, everything. This guy's allergic to fucking grass, pollen, all kinds of shit. But he needs inhalers and all this.
And all
constantly fucked up. They put him on these drugs that make him fucking fat, big and fat and fucked up, and his health just starts deteriorating because he's got these allergies. Then he reads that if you get infected by the hookworm, it'll take away your allergies. There's something that it does where if the hookworm, which it does, is it burrows. They're always burrowing, by the way. The fucking parasites, they're always burrowing. And they burrow into your intestines, and then they grab on and suck off the blood in there. And then your body sends all kinds of defense mechanisms to the site of these hookworms. And somehow, I don't know how, they didn't explain it, that fucking is supposed to take care of your allergies.
Does it take care of, let me ask you, Ant, does it take, sending blood, does it take care of the allergy, or is the blood that would probably be used to swell the tissue in your nose now being used to fucking fight a worm?
A hookworm.
Yeah, that could be because
you got to keep the hookworm in there?
Yes.
So you can't remove the hookworm?
Wait for this. The allergies themselves are your body reacting to something that's relatively harmless in a way that your body thinks it's harmful. So pollen, which gets in your nose, does a little irritating. Some people just be like an itchy nose. Other people gets all inflamed because your body's just sending all kinds of defense mechanisms up there. So this guy hears about the hookworm, but now your hookworm, you know how you get a hookworm?
How?
Oh, God. This is disgusting. I know, we're just watching this. Here's how you get a hookworm. You got to walk somewhere where there's hookworms. And what they do is they burrow into the bottom of your feet.
All right, but where are the hookworms?
Africa.
Africa again.
In a village where the people shit. So this guy flies to fucking Africa from the United States and just starts trotting in these nasty fucking African villages where all the residents are shitting and just trotting in their shit.
His allergies were so bad?
Yeah.
So he wants to get the hookworm in his foot.
Yeah. So there was
Can't
no way
they just
to tell.
implant a hookworm in him?
Sure. No ethical doctor is going to do that.
Why? If it takes away your allergies?
Because it was an experimental thing that his auntie in England heard about.
Okay.
So no ethical doctor is going to do this. He can't find one. So he just look at the hookworm. They're disgusting monsters. So he first day that there's really a lot of pollen in the air.
Right.
And he's thinking, I'm going to get this allergic reaction. So he realizes nothing's happening. No allergies. So he freaks out. It's like, this is great. This is great. He goes to the doctor. The doctor does confirm that he does indeed have a hookworm.
So he did the right thing
He said it worked.
by marching around in everyone's shit.
Yeah, marching in Africans' shit.
To get the hookworm in his foot.
The hookworm. And now you know what he does?
I know the end of the story, and I didn't
What?
even watch the show.
What?
What else did he get from fucking
That's what I
stomping
was
in the
thinking.
shit?
But it seems he didn't get anything.
Oh, okay.
But here's what he does now. People with allergies, he's online now selling. He harvests the hookworms from himself and sells them on the internet to people with allergies.
How does he harvest them? In his shit?
I guess out of his shit.
Wait, is the thing laying eggs in him?
Yeah.
How many hookworms does he have?
I don't know.
How come the hookworm can't just hang out by itself?
They got a bunch of hookworms. Parasites don't like hanging out by themselves.
And
They're
eventually the
partiers.
hookworms are going to completely take over this guy's body, no?
Yeah, he said he's got to watch
This
his
is
health because of
horseshit.
hookworms, because it'll a lot of weight loss, and you'll get like you're prone to infections and stuff.
This is horseshit.
What
show is this on?
This is on the fucking Monsters.
It was on the Monster Show.
Monsters
Within or whatever.
Within us.
Within us.
Monsters inside
us.
me.
I don't know what it
me.
is. Monsters inside me.
What gets rid of a hookworm?
Sounds like it looks like the back of that videotape I was just watching with the black guy. Monsters inside us. The cock is huge.
So wait, the guy gets one hookworm and then they multiply in his body?
Yeah.
And he has no problem with this, that the hookworms the population's getting larger and larger inside him?
He said the allergies and
then
the reaction to the medicines he was taking to keep the allergies even in check were so bad that he was swelled up. Like the steroids made his head real fat, and he just got these infections on himself, and he was all fucked up.
Oh, he's on that fathead steroid.
Yeah, something like that.
The Jerry Lewis story.
Yeah.
It starts with a P, right?
Prevacet?
Prevacet, right?
Something like
Something
that.
like that.
Prednisone or something? Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he
I
grabbed
call it
that
the fathead steroid.
fathead.
rather-
The lunkheads.
Yeah, it cures everything, but now you got a fathead.
But the thing with the hookworm is interesting because allergies are torture. When you can't sleep, dude,
That's me.
a nightmare.
But I'm not to the stage where I'm going to go marching around and shit
Implanting
in
a
Africa
parasite, yeah.
and get a hookworm. But that's me. I'm allergic to all trees and all grass. That's why I come in here with these low-level sicknesses all the fucking time.
But how do they get rid of it? Like, say he wanted to get rid of that hookworm. What's the process to get rid of it? There's got to be something you could take in modern medicine to get rid of a hookworm.
I'm sure there is, but they didn't go into that either.
Where are the hookworms hanging out in his body?
In his intestines.
How does he harvest them?
Wait, how does it start in the bottom of his foot and get into his intestine?
They know where to go. They go
Get the
all the way
fuck
up.
outta
They get in
here.
your bloodstream first, and they travel around, and they know where the intestines are. And once the bloodstream reaches to nourish the intestines, they pop out and fucking they burrow into your intestinal
And like you
wall.
said, he's harvesting hookworms for other people that are suffering like him.
Yeah,
Is
and
this the
selling it
website?
on the internet.
How to purchase a hookworm? Is that it?
That's his site.
Could we pet? Could
What
we?
a goal.
Dude, weight loss and fucking the allergies are gone? Get me one of these. I'm going to raise a bunch of them and have them as pets.
I was going to say we should purchase one and just make him a pet.
They rule.
Can we have a hookworm pet?
You don't
that we
need it.
Look at under a microscope every morning, see how the little
hookworm.
fella's doing.
Frightened of the hookworm.
Yeah, and hookworm doesn't seem pleasant.
Look at his face. He's like, he's got big teeth. He just burrows into you.
Prevacet is for heartburn. Thank you, Vincent.
Well, whatever.
Yeah, I knew that was wrong.
Prednisone?
Prednisone, that's
Something
it.
like
Yeah,
that?
some shit.
Yeah, okay. That's the fathead steroid.
Lunkhead. Oh, Jordy Verrill, you lunkhead.
But it's amazing. It stops the fucking...
Yeah,
it stops the allergies. That's the thing.
Yeah, but I want to know what the hookworm does to you. Obviously, you're losing weight, but what else? Are you getting liquid shits every morning?
Yeah, gotta be a hook to it.
If it's hanging out in your stomach, you know that's making your digestive tract a complete nightmare.
It's in your intestines, so it can give you like all
intestines,
kinds of
okay.
colitis and all
wonderful.
kinds of.
How about you just deal with
abdominal
sneezing
pains.
every day? Walk around with some fucking tissues.
But he had the lunkhead too. He wanted to get rid of the lunkhead.
Oh, the fathead?
Yeah, he had to get rid of that.
How about you get rid of your pollen comforter? That's the problem with him. He sleeps on pollen.
Would you buy a pollen comforter?
Yeah, I would. He lives under a fucking tree in a hammock between two pollen making trees.
What a dummy. With his giant head.
You know, Ant, you started something now. Because,
it's terrible.
Mike in Pennsylvania, we all Well, used to have, in my case, a grandmother that did some wacky things for cures. Mike, what do you got?
Good morning, boys.
Hey.
You jogged a memory on me there with the whole bee sting thing. My grandmother suffered from really bad arthritis when I was a young boy, and she used to go to a beehive and let the bees sting her repeatedly. And she
in
said
the vagina.
She said it took away the arthritis pain for 6 months.
It does.
No, it doesn't. You're hurting from the fucking bee stings. You don't know you have arthritis anymore.
You're too busy running away, yelling, "Get off me!"
Right.
Wait.
That's all I've got, boys. Thank you.
No, dude, she would actually just go to the hive herself because there's doctors that do this.
He just left.
Did he hang up?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, dummy.
I can't believe that the old lady would go to the hive because there's a doctor that will do it. I've seen this. Where they take bee, they'll hold, they know how to hold a bee with tweezers, and they just put it on your arm, and the bee stings you. It's a honeybee. And the bee injects something, the venom or whatever it is, that actually helps with arthritis. But this old lady would just go to the fucking hive.
That seems a little
because it's an
dangerous.
old lady.
Dude, but that's
how all that stuff started, and then a doctor goes, all right, we could control this instead of having you put your whole arm in a beehive.
Can this guy call back? I would love to know that his grandmother just go to a hive and stick her fucking arm in it.
That's what he said.
People are using leeches now. It's like leeches have made a big comeback with bleeding people and maggots with cleaning wounds. I heard they were talking about it on the show last night, maggot therapy, and all I thought was this giant maggot sitting there with a notebook asking you about your child. Don't laugh. You don't have to. It was an image I got in my head that made me smile. So fuck everybody.
It is kind of funny. It's maggot therapy. It's
maggot therapy. It wasn't meant to be funny. It was poignant.
Well, that's what your therapist calls it when he doesn't want you to have self-esteem. Welcome to maggot therapy. Thank you, doctor.
Hello, maggot.
That's what happens when you in the Marine Corps. What?
Is that a hookworm?
No, those are maggots on people's
maggots?
massive infections.
Have you ever seen people alive with? I've seen on you go to blood shows. There's maggots in people's heads and feet and arms while they're alive.
Yeah, some homeless
Fucking
guys we've had it through here. We've seen some maggots.
Goddamn flies.
We've seen maggots on homeless
lay
guys.
their eggs everywhere.
They're terrible, but you know what? Maggots eat the fucking the dead. Maggots are actually helpful for a wound.
They eat the
Oh,
dead
really?
fucking...
Yes, they are. They eat the infected tissue.
Oh, do they love rotting meat?
Love it. They don't want the healthy stuff.
No.
Can't get enough of it, right?
Nerds to it, they say.
Nerds.
They like the fucking rotten. If you have a wound and you're in the jungle, which I am all the time.
Yes.
I'm in the jungle, baby.
Yeah.
The jungle.
So I find some maggots and put them in my wound. Here, clean this, maggot.
Clean it up, maggot.
Here's Bee Sting guy calling back.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, Mikey.
Yes, sir.
Jimmy wanted you to call back.
Yeah,
so.
Mike, that was interesting because I've seen the doctors do it in shows, but how did your grandmother, A, learn about it, and B, how would she get her fucking stung in the right place?
Well, see, my grandfather had honeybees,
Oh.
and actually in hives, and she would go out with a smoker, and she would smoke the bees out of the hives. She would actually just let them land on her.
Smokers! Sorry. It's Waterworld.
I mean, it sounds primitive, but it works for her, you know?
Where would they land? On her arms and legs? Where was her arthritis?
On her arms. Wow. She would let them finger on her arms and her hands.
On her hood.
See, now I get like the heebie-jeebies and get itchy.
Well, you started this shit.
No, 10 to 15 stings, man. And she'd brush them off, and she'd go through the whole itching process for about 3 or 4 hours, and
Wow.
6 months later, she'd do it again.
It would last that long?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Oh, I was hoping she would have to do it every few hours.
Yeah, she just
Bees are
carries
like a
bees
ride already
around.
with her.
Yeah, every 13 minutes.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, every 6 months.
All right, thanks, man. That's interesting to me.
Yeah. Take care.
I saw some show on bees, by the way, on a guy who is fucking David Attenborough. You know who he is?
Oh, yeah.
He gets raised up in somewhere in Africa or the Amazon. These bees, there's so many of them, they can't find a big hive, so they nest outdoors. Their whole hive is outdoors. It's a living colony.
Al fresco.
Is that what it's called?
Yes, that's when they're out of doors. Dining al fresco.
They're nesting al fresco.
Yes, they are.
It's because some of the bees are smokers, and they go way up on a giant Amazon tree. And see if you could find fucking David Attenborough, just to see the image of it. And it's a giant clump of living bees hanging under a branch, and he goes up on a tree branch next to it.
No, dummy.
He's wearing a bee suit. And
I'm itching.
Amazing how he just says that their defense is like if you put your hand by it, they don't just sting you. The whole thing just kind of moves in a wave to warn you to get the fuck away.
No.
That's just, I don't know why. That has nothing to do with
They
the
do a
hookworms.
little wave.
They do, yeah. See if you find David Attenborough.
Wow.
Bees. It doesn't matter. I don't want to
Bees
divert.
are very scary to me.
Bees?
Yeah,
Bees,
I'm not
yeah.
a big fan of the bee.
I want to know more about hookworms.
Although I'm
Bees are-
freaking out now about flies.
Why?
Like, because we, in the past fucking 2 weeks, we've been talking about flies laying their fucking eggs everywhere in your head and your feet.
And Spectro from Michigan goes, on what planet do flies bite? Where the fuck do you live?
Flies bite you all the time.
Those big fucking green ones?
The big, greeny, nasty
we got
flies.
nasty green flies on Long Island that'll bite the shit out of you.
I remember going to the beach and you'd get bitten by them all
We're
the
not
time.
talking about those dumb house flies. Maybe they
No.
bite, but you never feel it. We're talking about these awful green ones. I don't know what they're
Yeah.
called.
Are they blowflies?
Huh?
Are they blowflies?
Yeah, flies bite and they fucking will make you itch like a
Horse
motherfucker.
flies. They call them
They're
horse
huge.
flies.
Yeah, but this Spectro
giant.
doesn't realize that flies bite. Of course they do.
Ugh,
That's a
God.
hive?
Holy shit, that's a lot of bees.
That's a living hive.
Oh, I'm itchy.
It's an out. They live outdoors.
Wow.
It's a
They
massive
all just
fucking
hang
hive.
from a branch.
Yep.
I'm such a faggot.
They're done. They're giant honeybees.
But what if you want to just fly away, but you're holding up everybody else?
Yeah. But this
Look at this lunatic.
That isn't even a good bee suit. Look, they could get right up under your neck.
No,
bee
he-
suits suck because
No, he zips it up.
but bees
see?
always get in them.
Yeah, they do. But that's only if you're going to go in there and put. He's not going to nuzzle them with his face.
I don't even want to be 10 miles near these motherfuckers. Frightening.
It really is horrifying. How bees. If you're around guys who aren't afraid of bees, he's getting
Yeah.
raised up this tree next to this giant
look at
outdoor hive. It's just a
Very
clump
majestic.
of bees.
That's a big ass
Oh,
tree.
dude, it's massive.
It's a wall of bees just hanging off this branch.
It looks like
God.
an old lady's underarm.
Yeah, it's
skin.
hanging. Like a fat woman's skin hanging.
Would you punch that?
Oh, God.
bee loses its
I was just
sting,
thinking the same thing, how great it would be.
Yeah, just
So
punch
it's
it
better
once.
for the colony to
Punch the
warn
stupid
predators
bees.
off
Yes.
before they have to
Show
See,
him
say-
who's boss.
He's saying it's better to
they
warn
warn
you.
them with some dramatic displays. I've got a
stick?
reproduction of
A stick
hornet, which is
a stick with a
one of the
fake
enemies
hornet on
of
it.
bees.
Oh, cool.
I'll see if I can get them to do it. Just watch. There.
Oh,
There's
man.
a moving wave which passes over the surface of the
They
colony.
all like raise their wings, almost like the
Holy
wave
shit.
in a stadium.
That's
An
fucking
impressive
crazy. They're doing a stadium
But
wave.
it also makes it very difficult for any
Look how
aggressor,
synchronized
like
they are.
a hornet, which eats bees,
Yeah.
to actually land on that moving carpet of wings.
Dude, how do they get that organized?
Bees are fucking
The colony's
amazing.
Great treasure, of course, is
It's a
huge
perfect
store of
line
honey.
moving down this conglomeration of fucking bees.
Yeah, they all do the wave like in a stadium to warn off
collect from flowers.
whatever it is.
They
Right.
systematically
Until the
expose it
moth
to
fucking
air
comes
so
along.
that the
There's
water
just
it
so much
contains
we don't know.
evaporates.
Dude,
And
insects
the
just give me the
nectar
creeps. I don't know how they hang out with each other. Like I always wonder, like how would if I was a bee, I would hate to crawl on other bees. It would give me the creeps.
Yeah, they're crawling all over each other.
like, but not just these on the outside. There's ones way down at the bottom because there's
Yeah,
honeycomb. There's honeycombs.
The combs in which they store it are continuously guarded by
Just-
the covering of bees.
just forward a little
They
bit,
cling
just
so
in case there's a moth
thickly
that shows
that
up
it
to
might
steal a
seem
little bit
that
of honey.
nothing could
Oh,
get
really?
past
Yeah.
Oh, moth wants a little honey.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm a moth.
Death's head hawk moth
Oh.
flies
It's
over
at
the
night,
surface of the colony.
and they're warning it
It goes
off.
so close to it that the bees are alarmed enough to wave their warning.
He's flying above them.
Death's head moth, isn't that the one that's in the throat in
Silence of the Lambs.
Silence?
It wants honey.
But look what he does. He's looking for a place to land.
What is he, stupid? Doesn't he know those are bees?
He's
Amazingly, it manages to land on the carpet of bees and quickly pushes its way
Holy
through.
shit, it just went right into the big pile of bees.
he went into the pile of bees.
Quick
Is it gonna
sip
come
of honey,
out?
And it's off.
Yep.
Wow.
He does the moth does something
how
which
did
makes
he-
the bees. It's a scent
Right.
where they think it's him, where they think it's them. It's fucking amazing.
That's stupid.
Yeah, the bees. What a bunch of. They don't realize. Hey, this thing's giant with faggot wings.
They could do all these amazing things, and yet they can't fucking identify.
They can't figure out a moth.
Yeah.
The moth gets through.
I love how they give me a knife and fork with this sandwich. I know.
That nature is a fucking weird thing.
It just
man.
is insanity.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. The hookworms were
No, man,
yeah.
that bee thing is very interesting. I'm going to have to watch some of those videos later today. Tablespoon of honey gets rid of honey.
what?
What? Tablespoon of honey gets rid of honey. and allergies go away.
A table full of honey and allergies? I wish Dr. Steve was here, and believe me, I've never said that before, nor will I again. But he would know what. I would love to know what the hookworm does, which causes your allergies.
Then let's wake that fucker up, man.
Well, the
I think you're right, though. It takes your resources that would normally be used to fight these harmless allergies and brings them to the hookworm to fight them, and kind of doesn't leave. Maybe it deflects your defenses from going to the allergy part.
Right.
I don't know.
It's too busy fighting off the infection.
Yeah, cut off a limb. That also works. Yeah. Right, your hookworm infection.
Yeah.
It has
getting worse.
Your body has bigger problems. That's what it comes down to.
You finally end up just having to inject AIDS in you to kill everything else.
Exactly. Adam in Jersey. Adam.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, I was wondering, can those bees form into like a hammer and hit the guy?
I've seen that on many cartoons, sir. The hammer isn't what you got to worry about. It's when they make a bow and arrow out of themselves and then fling the bee arrow at you, and then it goes buzz when it hits you in the buttocks as you run away repeatedly.
I like that. Thank you, sir. Yeah, a little cartoon logic. Never hurt anyone, right?
Yes.
This guy's had every kind of worm in his body. What the fuck's wrong with you, Trev?
What's wrong? Where have you been?
Trev.
Asian lady, you're on. Oh.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Well, I'm South African by birth. So,
see, of course.
Okay.
That means you're dirty by nature.
And by the way, that's where the little girl was that got the fucking fly in her foot. Was South Africa.
Where?
And then they're wondering, what could have happened?
What girl was flying her foot?
The one that got the maggot in her foot that was crawling around, and because she was vacationing in South Africa. Why are you vacationing on a continent that's a petri dish?
Yeah, that's all kinds of crap. But I used to get roundworm, hookworm, tapeworm, you name it. And my mom would disinfect all us kids at least once a month. You can either take a single dose pill, or you can take a course of 7 days. If you take the 1-dose pill, then 3 weeks later you have to take another one. And they taste like absolute crap. I remember as a kid...
How about you just swallow them so you don't taste them?
Yeah, you got to chew them. You can't just swallow them. You got to chew them.
All right, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're disgusting. But I'll tell you what the worms do to you when they're in your intestine, why you lose weight. They feed off your glucose. That's the whole point. And your glucose is your blood sugar. The more blood sugar you have, the more prone you are to put on weight. Transforms to fat. The less glucose you have, the less fat you're going to retain. But, of course, your muscles also suffer. The most dangerous of all of them is roundworm. Roundworm, it doesn't make a distinction between sitting in your intestine. It'll even camp on your brain and kill you.
I don't want that. How do you get rid of these things?
Well, like I say, they're here in the United States, worms in humans aren't very common at all.
Of course not. We rule.
No argument there. Whereas in South Africa, as I say, there's an actual over-the-counter drug you get, either a 7-day course or a single-day course, and within about 6 days you start looking for the worms as they're coming out your ass. So, some of them are dead, some of them are alive.
Oh, but the pills, there are the pills. Do you know what the pills do to get rid of them? How do they dislodge them?
Well, what it does is it blocks the worm's ability to synthesize the glucose, and so because they aren't getting any nutrition anymore, they just unlatch themselves.
Wow, who figured that out?
I know, isn't that amazing?
Well, yeah, I guess probably some American went over to South Africa and got sick and tired of worms and came up with the idea.
Yes, it probably was an American.
Hey, is there any kind of home remedy for that stuff? Like, what did they do 500 years ago or 100 years ago? Is that all they could do? Was there any way to combat that? That was natural?
Well, I know that some of the home remedies, include cod liver oil with vinegar, and there's a whole bunch of things. I know in Africa, a good home remedy is grows on the coral tree. It's a bean, and too much of it will kill you. So you got to be real careful. You can take a quarter of the bean and swallow that, and it works pretty good.
Oh wow!
But most people don't touch it only because from bean to bean the toxicity level, varies so much. So
wow,
I loved you in District 9, by the way. The prawn. That's his scroll. That is his scroll that he gave. He just gave that. It's Mr. Sweetie Man. South Africans, you all sound English.
All right, Trev.
Thanks, man.
We got Dr. Steve on the phone.
Yes.
Dr. Steve, we're talking about hookworms, maggots, home remedies, bee stings for arthritis.
We are.
And we woke you up, so you better be good.
Oh, God. We woke you up, so you better be good.
That's right.
How does that work?
Yeah, hookworm.
In our world, that's what works.
What it is photosynthesis. If you take the glucose and the glutamine.
Glucose.
Oh, did I say that wrong?
Glucose, he said.
Well, glue does make things close, I guess.
It does.
Steve, the hookworms that help your allergies not affect you anymore.
Say that again.
Hookworms.
Oh, shit, he's real sleepy.
Ant saw a special on hookworm, and how if people get certain high on hookworms, their allergies don't affect them anymore.
Wow, now that's a new one on me, but I can imagine why you develop antibodies to the hookworm.
Yeah.
And those particular antibodies may block the antibodies for your allergies.
Ah.
I mean, that would just be a theory that I don't know that that's the case. But that would be it would have to be something like that.
Yeah, I just saw the one.
Like I was talking about with those Ascaris that we showed you the pictures of last time I was on. Ascaris lumbricoides, and those are the ones that come out of that were coming out of the kid's nose and mouth. And then the shot where the kid was shitting this giant mass of worms out of his ass.
Spaghetti, yeah.
Ew, where's that?
Oh, it's
disgusting. I don't think Jim was there. Actually, show that to him, Danny.
Yeah.
If Danny's there, it's Ascaris.
Danny just said, no, I don't want to.
I want to see that.
Might want to finish your breakfast, Jimmy.
It is so fucking disgusting.
ASCARIS.
ASCRIS?
ASCARIS, and then just click on Google Image, and it'll be the second picture that comes up.
Yeah. Someone having duty worms? Aw.
Duty worms.
I think this was the picture I tweeted last week, and they yanked it, man.
Oh, God.
They wouldn't allow this on fucking Twitter. Now, where's the one where the spaghetti's coming out of the guy's ass?
Yeah.
That's it. That's Ascaris.
Ascaris.
Yeah, we can't find it now. Maybe Google.
We got the images of the worms, but we can't see the one.
Oh, there it is. Oh. Bottom right.
Bottom right.
Yeah.
Oh, God. God.
I tweeted this last week, and they yanked it.
Ew.
It's a medical picture.
Oh, shitting ramen noodles.
Yeah, that's a bunch of worms coming out of one person?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm thinking on that picture is remember when the guy that you were talking to before talked about taking the pill and then you start shitting out the worms. I think those are probably dead worms that this guy is shitting out after taking.
I bet you he felt much better though after that shit.
Oh yeah, that's a good dump right there.
Oh my God,
I would hate that.
Feel a lot thinner and less bloated.
But wait, so that guy shit the Ascaris worms?
Yeah, those are round worms, and those are the ones that he was talking about have no respect for where they live. Because if you look around, you'll see other pictures of round worms coming out of other orifices.
Yeah, nose and
body. They'll
mouth.
come out of your nose at night. They'll come out of your mouth. They're really disgusting.
I really don't like this at all.
So how do you get rid of them?
Same thing. You take a dose of medication.
And they shit them out.
All right, so you don't know about the hookworm. So how about home remedies like the bee sting for arthritis?
Okay, there are some people out there that believe that bee stings are good for rheumatoid arthritis, and it may have some effect on osteoarthritis too. And I've never seen a good study that says that bee sting venom is for real. Now, if I get on PubMed real quick and look at bee sting venom, there'll be a bunch of studies there, and I don't think any of them are conclusive. Hang on just a second. Let me just do that.
Oh,
look at you.
A little research going down. This is good.
Yeah. Now,
Steve.
What there are studies of is bee stings causing neuropathic pain, which is nerve damage pain. And but as far as it being a treatment for anything, there really aren't good studies out there that I'm aware of. And I'm just scrolling through here right now. Here's one. Bee toxin takes the sting out of cancer, but it's a letter to the editor and not an actual study. So,
okay. So one guy that did it and said, "Wow, it worked," and who knows?
Yeah, and so there's just not a lot out there for that. I think that one's a myth so far. Although, it's interesting that a lot of the treatments that we get for things come from natural substances that otherwise can be harmful to you.
Yeah.
Foxglove is a somewhat toxic plant that when you extract it, you get a drug called digitalis that we use all the time in people with heart failure. And, botulism toxin is the most toxic substance on Earth, milligram per milligram. And, I just injected some in some lady's face last night for,
All right, that's hot. Yeah, I'm going to inject this in your face. I injected some protein.
So there are some, there's a history of looking at toxic things and seeing if they're therapeutic at all. But I'm just not aware of anything.
Yeah.
Dr. Steve, the colon is like a river that has ebbs and eddies, and I know how much you love Michio Kaku.
Oh, I love him too, man.
I do love it.
He rules. We got somebody on the line with you, Dr. Steve. Johnny in Minnesota. Johnny, you're on with the great Dr. Steve, Weird Medicine.
Well, good morning, boys. Happy birthday, Jimmy.
Hello.
I had these dumb Polak friends of mine. They went up to Canada, and they tried to make, that ceviche where you cure the fish with lemon instead of cooking it. Well, anyway, I get that. We're moving right along here. No haute cuisine. So it ends up, this guy gets back, and he's having really trouble in his guts. So he goes to take a shit, and there's something dangling out of there. So he reaches down and pulls it. When you go to grab a nightcrawler and the other half snaps back?
Good.
It snapped back in his asshole. He goes to the doctor, and if I'm lying, I'm dying. This guy shit 18 feet of fucking tapeworm.
18 feet of tapeworm?
Is that how?
18 fucking feet.
Is that one tapeworm or just a bundle of them?
It was one fucking worm.
Is that possible, Dr. Steve?
Well, he got this from an uncooked fish. Is that what?
Uncooked walleye, which is a freshwater fish.
Yeah, I've never heard of getting tapeworms from walleye, but I wouldn't say it's impossible. Usually you get tapeworm infection by eating food that someone else has shit on.
These are Polacks. These are Polacks, too. You never know.
Polacks? What year is this?
Maybe he thought it was from that and it was from something else. Maybe he actually didn't realize how he got it. Maybe he thought he got it from the fish.
That tapeworm is 20 feet long. 25.
Well, it was a keeper.
Yeah.
So wait, hold on. The tapeworm that's 18. Where does the tapeworm attach to? Your intestines?
Yeah. It sits in your intestine and just feeds off the things that you're eating. And people there in the old days, women would take tapeworm eggs to lose weight.
All right, good for them.
Wonderful, right?
That's a go-getter.
Why don't you just eat something that the tapeworm doesn't like?
Yeah, I don't think there is any such thing. It likes everything. It just likes shit.
Does it like broccoli?
Like shit.
Wait, tapeworm eggs to lose weight?
Yeah,
man.
How do you get rid of the tapeworm then?
Well, you have to. Back then, I'm not sure they knew exactly how to get rid of it. I mean, people do all kinds of stupid things to lose weight.
Especially back then.
Yeah, they almost had to poison this guy to get the thing out of him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. All right.
Yeah, and then the tapeworm. Get Danny to Google tapeworm because they're really lovely.
Danny's just shaking
Google
his head.
tapeworm,
No.
Danny. We got a bunch of hard dicks in this room, Dr. Steve.
What's wrong with everybody, man?
Would you
we were
put-
looking at the blue waffle. We can handle looking at a fucking tapeworm today.
While he's doing that, I did find I did some research on at the National Library of Medicine, and there was a study done on hookworm infection for asthma.
Oh,
and there were some epidemiologic studies and those are studies where they just sort of look back in time and they correlate one thing against another, and they suggested that hookworm infection protected against asthma, which is an allergy state. And so they went ahead and did a study where they infected people with hookworms, and they found when they did it prospectively. In other words, you take a bunch of people, you give them the infection, and then you look and see if it protects against asthma. It did not show any effect whatsoever. So don't go infecting yourself with hookworms because it doesn't protect you against asthma.
Right.
Especially when someone tells you you got hookworm, you're like, you can't breathe. Wait, can we see video of tapeworm, Danny? We're looking at this image.
Oh, the still picture's bad enough.
No, it's not. It's like a giant shoestring. It looks cute.
Yeah,
I want to pick it up and hold it like a stole.
You can't shuka a tapeworm.
Yes, you can. You grab the one in the middle and you hold his when his little mouth opens to grab and test it. You go, oh, come here, shuka on his little chin.
It's got one long chin.
Have a chin?
Yes,
sure
it
does.
does.
It's a little segmented
Everything
body.
has a chin.
Let me see the
This
tapeworm.
thing's disgusting.
If you look down there, look at its mouth. It's got like 4 little orifices with what looks like a drill that they would use.
Wow.
Yeah,
I don't like the looks on these faces. Parasites' faces are just made for burrowing.
Why? What do you think? What are they supposed to have?
I don't know.
Mustaches?
Something
you look
cute.
halfway down the page on Google Image, someone added a clown face to the
Of course.
Oh, really?
Why wouldn't they?
Making me laugh, yeah, because it's such an evil thing, and it looks like a little cute little clown.
Are there any videos of tapeworms like coming out or the doctors? There's got to be some video internally. Oh, there he is.
There's a clown face.
God.
I want to see video of a fucking tapeworm.
Well, let's see if
We're looking.
There has to be some. Oh, look at the little piggies.
There's just all fucking.
They just grip your intestines
animations and stuff.
There's a Google, a YouTube video from Monsters Inside Me on the pork tapeworm.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at.
We're watching it.
That's what we're looking at.
Oh, their face is like, it looks like a friggin' core drilling machine.
You can't even talk to that thing.
And what do they just spray shit out of their mouth and dissolve away like your intestine?
Yeah, they just hang out in there, and whatever they're opportunistic, and it's like anything you eat, they take a little bit of it. Sort of like someone skimming off the vig of.
Yeah. He perished the thought they forget to steal.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, fuck.
Danny can't even look at this stuff.
It's so disturbing to watch.
The hookworm has an ugly face.
Yeah, it's not cute.
It's hard
at
to
all.
love the hookworm.
You can't shuka that. Oh, God.
Look, there's video of it.
Oh, that is not right. I don't like
Looks
it.
like
Looks
a vacuum hose.
Yeah. And they grow in like these segments.
But we're not seeing a live fucking tapeworm.
Segments are.
Yeah. Oh, and then there's some on the brain.
All right, I don't need to know about brain bugs.
I don't need a bug in my brain.
All right, Dr. Steve.
Enough crap
Are we
going
done
on
with
in there.
Dr. Steve?
I think that was. Thank you, Steve.
All right, boys.
Yes, Dr. Steve, thank you again. Very informative.
Weird Medicine this Saturday night,
What time?
midnight Eastern.
Okay, great. It's a
Very
great
good.
show.
Yes, Dr. Steve.
Y'all hookworm, because of the proboscis, will attach itself.
Proboscis. Proboscis.
How do you say it, proboscis?
Proboscis.
I thought, okay, I don't know.
Proboscis.
I like proboscis.
I just love when Jimmy goes into character and says the wrong word.
I know, I do.
It's great.
Well, I've never heard that, but the proboscis.
He is getting to do a good Dr. Steve there, Dr. Steve.
Frighteningly good.
Jake, drink this. This will give you tapeworms and then kill them. I made it myself. I put my own labels on it. Dr. Steve's tapeworm. Tape wine.
Tape wine.
See you, Steve.
Thanks,
Dr. Steve, everyone. We should take a break.
It's amazing shit,
Yeah,
though,
'cause
right?
now I got to
Yeah.
eat after all this.
I know. I'm eating eggs the whole time we're talking. I would eat pasta.
Oh, would you?
Whoa, my fucking brain just went into a fucking spiral.
That was fucked up. I think you got worms on your brain.
I was going to say pasta and al dente, and I went pasta, dente pasta.
Worm.
I think lo mein would be better.
Yes.
If you're thinking tapeworms. A little lo mein action.
My sister shit out pinworm when she was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, she had, from sitting in dirt, she got little teeny pinworms.
Yeah, what did they just crawl up her asshole?
I guess. She was a kid.
You sit in dirt with your fucking asshole and vagina in the dirt? What
Well,
is
in
she-
shorts. In a kid or in a bikini, if you sit in the dirt, like, you know, in the
Why is she doing that?
Maybe she was in a
'Cause she's a
bathing suit in the
kid.
grass.
Yeah.
But I remember
look at you.
teasing her, making fun of her.
You did?
Yeah, oh, God, yeah.
Pinworms
Just
coming
doing
out
a bunch
her
of
ass.
pinworm jokes. But she was crying because she was her hiney was itching a lot.
How was she dragging it across the floor like a chihuahua?
My mother examined it, and you know, I don't know how old she was. Very young, and she saw like a little worm come out and move around, a little white worm.
Jesus.
So I did a bunch of pinworm jokes. She was not happy.
I don't want that. I don't like these shows or these segments.
I got worms on my finger. My nose.
Damn girl.
All right, when we get back, we got the latest on the JetBlue guy.
Oh.
And I guess there's songs now all over the internet. JetBlue
Oh, really?
songs, yes.
I bet they're hysterical.
And also there's a Stop the Mosque song as well.
Is it patriotic?
It's horrendous.
It's got to be bad. We ought to play the, let's see if we could guess what they rhymed the word with. I like doing that.
Yeah, we could do that. And did you guys, you didn't take a peek at America's Got Talent, did you? You hear about this 10-year-old girl?
Liar!
Pinworms up her ass.
Pinworms up her ass.
Liar.
Just screaming. Overnight sensation.
Really?
Fucking gonna be a massive fucking opera star.
What does she do? Oh, she does opera?
Dude. We're not opera guys, obviously, but
Yeah.
you gotta see what comes out of this 10-year-old's fucking mouth.
Oh, okay. You want to put it that way? I'll watch.
You gotta see this voice this 10-year-old has, to the point where everyone thought it was some kind of gag that America's Got Talent was pulling, and they were getting a shitload of email going, all right, she was
like
lip
it was lip-synced.
syncing, and there was some opera star backstage, right?
Yeah.
As I said, we could do it real fast before break.
Yeah. Is that her?
This chick is 10.
That looks so fake. That does look fake.
Right. She's 10. You're listening to a 10-year-old.
What's with the fog machine?
And now her feet have fog on them.
You don't have to jazz this up. This is amazing on its own.
I would just fucking give her the X. Man!
Yeah, sing some Sabbath, bitch.
Let her cry.
How does
The world is talking about this broad today. This little broad.
Got little lungs like condoms. How could she belt out fucking songs like that?
And there's no backup vocals at all, right?
Nothing. I'm telling you, the world is like, what the fuck is this?
She's gonna be hot. You could tell, right? Wow. God damn. Standing ovation
from everybody. I'd hate to be a comic going on after that.
Right. So standing ovation for opera.
I'm waiting for the lady to come out who was really singing that. That was your voice?
That was me. And now she talks with a stupid little voice.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Howie! You know what? We were going to do this show, and we all said at the beginning it's kind of scary, and all we want to do is find that one moment, that one gem, that one star from a place we've never looked before in America.
And we're still looking.
And you know what? This is the moment. You're the star.
Wow. Piers, are you sure you're not 30?
Yeah.
You're not
Good
just
one.
very small, right? You are
Good
10
one.
years old. 10 years old.
Exactly.
That is, I'm going to tell you, that is one of the most extraordinary performances
Extraordinary.
I've ever seen on American
Now
Idol.
Sharon's going to say, I thought you were wonderful and lovely.
You've got the whole thing. You've got a lovely smile, beautiful dress, and then you start to sing, and everyone in this audience probably felt the way that I did. We all felt goosebumps. That moment when you think,
We all got a big tent in the front of our undershorts.
Travis's.
And we realised that age is nothing but a number. And you should be able to make love at any age you feel fit. I think we all felt the same way, that any mouth that could make that sound could really milk you for every drop of fluid.
Started to sing, I thought, is this for real? I can't believe that from this tiny body, this huge, mature voice that you have. It is absolutely amazing. I can't believe it. And I've never seen anything like it. And that's why...
How do you feel, Jackie?
I feel so amazed and so happy that I feel like
No way.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
How does that voice come out?
I don't know.
We're going to put you on Ozfest so they can throw water bottles at you like you're Papa Roach.
Thank you for being here.
I love that. They booed her at Ozfest. They put her out between Crew and Ozzy, and she fucking got booed.
She just gets shit thrown at her. Yeah. Oh, well.
Pretty fucked up, isn't it?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
She's adorable.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll get into the JetBlue fucking latest thing.
Yeah.
Now they're trying to just knock this guy down.
Of course.
That's what you do, right?
This is the quickest turnaround ever. This is like wrestling heel turn.
Yeah, now they're talking
shit.
to the passengers, and they're basically saying he was a complete asshole the entire fucking flight. Now they got to knock him down a few notches because, you know, we can't have a feel-good story in America.
No.
But you know what, though? We've all had that flight attendant. He had to be a prick.
He finally had it. Yeah, whatever. We'll have the latest. I guess he has a ex-wife.
What?
What the fuck
happened there? You realize that was a mistake? Ew.
When did you realize it was time to get divorced? When he licked my pussy and threw up for 3 hours.
Yeah. He was looking for an escape chute. And he saw my... Well, whatever.
He said he felt like he was tongue kissing a giant hookworm. When I pulled out my pants and he looked at it and went, boo! Boo!
How did she not know?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Boo!
Yeah, when I showed him my vagina and he uppercutted it and ran out the door in his bathrobe. That's how I know. When he was squeezing my tits and he called them pecs. He would only fuck my ass and make me talk in a Humphrey Bogart voice.
Look at him. He's all over the news.
Yeah. Well, we got the latest on him next. Stay there.
Virus, Sirius XM. This is the Opie and Anthony Show.
Fucking Panicky Pete.
Oh, God.
Stupid E-Rock runs in. Oh, my, you guys are on the air.
You're on.
No shit. Been doing this for 30 fucking years.
30.
We figured out the trick, and I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
There is a part of us as adults that was hoping
no
it was
one knows
magic.
what we're talking about.
Oh, we talking about this off air?
Yeah, we did.
I'm sorry.
We were
Quick
talking about
change.
America's Got Talent, and
Look, it is quite amazing. You just keep going back and forth.
oh, okay.
These quick change people.
Yeah. So they also, last night on America's Got Talent, had the quick change people. You might want to fucking do a little search on your own to check out this act, which is pretty fucking amazing. You want to explain it, Anthony?
It's two people, a guy and a girl, and they go around to this cornball music, and they're wearing various costumes. And then, with just the blink of an eye, where they're covered by barely any material, their costumes are completely changed.
Yeah, Danny's right. You caught her hands. You could see them. You can see her hand right there.
Her hand's ready. It's on her chest. She pulls something, and another dress opens up. It's all in the costumes, and how they're fastened, and
not only
inside
fastened, but
out,
how they're made.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's all custom. I mean, completely custom clothing.
I'll bet you she's got like a whole bunch of them, and she probably keeps them in a pocket or something, right?
Exactly, Chip. That's what I was thinking.
So there's a quick release, and then the dress is inside out, basically.
It is amazing. I mean, it must take an unbelievable amount of practice to do it, and not
It looks like
get caught.
The dress is changing in front of your eyes, basically.
But video like this on YouTube has destroyed it because you could just keep stopping the video and looking at every frame and seeing. We saw exactly how she did one of them.
Right.
The guy pulled one of those, and it's a normal magician ring with the material around it, almost like an oldie kind of shower curtain.
Right.
And he pulls it up, and her head is still exposed.
Right.
But you can't see her shoulders, and you see his hand is behind her, and he's the one pulling whatever fastener, and her shoulder straps come apart, and from the top down, the whole thing unfurls as a brand new dress, in a split second. And you could see the purple covering the green, and now we know how it's done. It's
But check it out for yourself. Quick
this is
change.
Quick change revealed.
Oh, revealed. We just found it on
Love when
YouTube.
magic tricks are revealed.
Ever wondered how they did it? I think I can show you. First, watch it, though. You may skip through this part if you want.
Okay.
Because we saw it.
Yeah.
All right. Now they're going to reveal.
It is an amazing. They're very, very timed out well.
They're very good.
Yeah.
Right.
How come she didn't put a baseball uniform on?
Notice the blue thing at the bottom. Okay. All right. Pulls it up.
Pulls the blue thing up to
the old clothes. Ripped
off, revealing the
revealing
new. Made easy by Velcro, possibly. The red is ripped off as she walks into the yellow dress before.
All right. This guy's revealing
He's
anything.
guessing. He's going, maybe it's not magic. Thanks, scumbag.
Yeah, yes, she's gonna wear.
Wait a minute, you can actually go back a little bit. I can actually
did
see
he
it.
throw her the dress or something?
Yeah,
What
you can
the
see
fuck?
it right before. Watch. Yeah.
That's the dress.
She actually holds it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He actually handed
That
it to
was
her.
a fake dress.
I
don't know. This guy
This is
doesn't know
going
anything.
nowhere, and there's a lot of reading and. Check it out. Quick change. It's an amazing act. It really is.
It's just a bunch of tricked out clothing.
I was hoping it was magic.
I hoped it was too, but it's not.
You
There
think
isn't
we'll
real
ever
magic.
see real magic?
Magic.
Maybe.
Maybe we'll see real magic someday.
In the old days.
Yeah. Hey, let's get
In-
the latest
in
on the
Middle
JetBlue
Earth.
guy, who's he's a kind of a working man's hero, but now we're trying to make him into a jerk because that's what we do in America.
Yeah, this was the quickest teardown ever.
Yeah.
He went from jerk to, wow, I love this guy. He fucking did what he wanted to do. Back to jerk.
Well, now that everyone's just trying to say, well, he's a real fucking asshole. And
Yeah.
he was a problem the entire flight. Well, yeah, he knew that day he was just about done with JetBlue and being a flight attendant.
Yeah, he was close
So, of course,
enough.
he was going to be a jerk the entire flight.
Self-destruct.
It wasn't one incident.
Kenny, I could have had a V8.
I'll get one.
Thank you, sir.
Here's the latest on JetBlue guy.
I think he probably still would like.
Oh, you know what? This is the ex-wife.
Oh, really?
Yes.
When he ran away from me, when I took my clothes off on our honeymoon, I knew there was a problem.
The ex-wife, Jimmy, of the JetBlue
Oh,
hero.
yes.
Here we go.
I think he probably still would like his job at JetBlue. I really think that this is just one of those situations that shows sort of the state of the world today. I find it more offensive that this passenger isn't being put on trial than Stephen being put on trial. I see it every...
Well, see, the passenger was acting up a little bit, but Steven pulled the emergency chute.
Yeah.
You know?
Something, by the way, that was a dream of his.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said he'd always wanted to do that.
Oh, very cool.
So,
This guy is also, look, I know the passenger sucked, and hopefully she's suffering from pancreatic cancer, but he's also a douchebag.
Yeah.
He's a dude. I get it, but the bottom line is you told the passengers to fuck off, and you pulled the chute.
Yeah, you can't do that.
It's not like he yelled at one person and it was overheard and he walked out. You pulled the chute.
You can't do that.
That's what you should do when there's a fire.
You're not allowed to.
If I right now, no matter how unreasonable people are here, if I had a fight at another DJ and I went, fuck you, and pulled the fire alarm and rappelled down the side of the building,
I would love to see
I'm not a hero. I'm an asshole.
He caused a major problem.
Of course he did.
Reverend Al, really quickly, Reverend Al organizing rally following Harlem shooting. Could somebody please get Reverend Al's audio? He's on Channel 5 right now talking about it.
Was this a black-on-black crime, though?
Spanish or Latin, but there was guns involved.
Yeah, the police and shooting was involved. So, of course, Reverend Al's got to come out and criticize the cops, I'm sure.
Are the officers all white? I would love to know that.
I don't know.
I don't know. We
You
need the facts behind this one.
There's a block party going on where if three people in north of 125th Street have a block party, it's going to end in gunfire.
When is it just the fault of the participants? Like, when are the police right in this asshole's mind?
Not in
that'll
Reverend Al's
never happen.
eyes. Never.
Ever? Are white cops
That'll never happen with
or any
Reverend
cops ever right?
Not with
No,
him.
no.
Never?
And you know what the big thing is? Oh, my God, they shot this guy 22 times. I believe he holds the record for the most times shot and not killed.
Really?
Yeah.
All
Pretty
right.
Cool.
Tough fucker.
Yeah. So, and there were 50 shots fired. And, you're talking about a few cops just emptying out one magazine. It's not like one cop sat there reloading and shooting 50 times. It's a gunfire episode.
Doesn't that take like a second? Couple seconds,
oh my
whatever.
God, you can unload a clip in no time.
Yeah, a lot of people think it's bang.
No, people just don't
bang,
understand. Pop, 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 pop. You're trying to fucking see where it's coming from. You're shooting back.
By the way, I
See the
believe
guy with the gun.
Yeah, I'm sorry. In his apartment, I believe this is the guy. They found a bunch of coke packets and $87,000.
Oh well, he
I believe
probably was saving up for college, Jimmy.
So he's obviously an enterprising young man.
Yes. What a wonderful person. And I bet they just
at the end of the month in D.C. What's going on with that?
August 28th is the 47th anniversary of the March on Washington, where Dr. King made the speech, I Have a Dream.
Yeah, you're just like him.
We, Martin Luther King III, Mark Morial of the Urban League, many of us are coming together.
I guarantee this
National
reporter,
Network has
well, that's
called
Fox, maybe
to
she
not
did,
only
but
celebrate
I
that,
doubt
because
it.
47 years later, many of us, I was only 8 years old, couldn't go. We celebrating that march led to a lot of progress. We now have an African-American president, 2 African-American governors, but that we still have a way to go. In education, we have to close the education gap.
This guy's a twat.
Close the education gap. What do you mean?
Pot.
Just to go to school.
Just go to school. You know what? It's pretty logical.
I'm very simple. I'm a simple man.
I do realize they might not have the best tools in their schools, but how about you just at least go?
Well, it
It starts with going to school.
It's all about paying taxes, and that goes to schools. And if you're living in a community where no one is paying fucking taxes because no one's working and everyone's on the government till, the schools aren't getting a lot of money. How about clean up your fucking own neighborhood? Get some industry going in your own neighborhood. That way the schools will get more money and people get a better education. And stop fucking gang banging in school. No one can learn if there's gang banging going on.
How do you know there's gang banging
I
going on?
know about the gang banging.
How do you know?
I saw it on TV.
All right, there you go. Can we get back to JetBlue guy?
Yay.
JetBlue guy's ex-wife. I want to start the clip over because we did a little off-roading there.
Let me hear that.
I think he probably still would like his job at JetBlue. I really think that this is just one of those situations that shows sort of the state of the world today. I find it more offensive that this passenger isn't being put on trial than Stephen being put on trial.
Stephen.
I see it every time that I'm at a grocery store, a department store, people just treating poorly the clerks. Our service personnel. I think everybody in America should have to work in retail or in service for 2 years to have a sense of humility and compassion about service people.
You know what?
Mario
Go
Fruit.
fuck yourself. Most of those people are assholes to deal with.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're complete assholes to deal with, right?
Yes.
Thank you. She continues talking.
I want to hear about the sex life.
He definitely exited in a grand fashion. He is a dramatic fellow.
He certainly is flamboyant, you could say.
I thought she was talking about how the marriage ended. He exited in grand fashion.
He certainly did.
Came home one day with a cock in his ass.
He definitely exited in a grand fashion. He is a dramatic fellow, so I wouldn't expect any less of him. I think he's fabulous. There is nothing I could think other than how he would do that. I think he just had enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He exited down the old poop chute, as he liked to call it.
His dramatic exit from the marriage was he pointed at his dick and he said, "I'm not going to put him through this anymore."
Oh, man. Fucking guy, man. Just a regular Joe, and now he's... You know he has 100,000 Facebook friends?
Doesn't take much
That's
these
all
days.
it takes.
Doesn't take much these days.
100,000. Actually, that number's probably a lot higher by now. That was yesterday.
He just liked people saying, "We're all behind you." I get it because he's gay. He'll be in the news for a couple more days and then
fade away.
And then bye-bye. He'll notice, why are my friends dropping?
Yeah, but you know what? He got that instant fame where he can now write a book.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a book in his future.
Yes, he does.
I mean, the late night shows don't pay, so how is he going to make money now?
Title of the book?
Yeah.
Down the Chute.
Down the Chute. Yeah.
Or, what was book be? It'll have something to do with the chute,
It's
like
gotta
throwing
be
it
the
all
chute,
away and sliding down the chute. It'll be some type of a combination.
Oh, with a title and then kind of a subtitle in there, too.
Yeah,
The Story of a Mo.
America's favorite pillow biter and his ass fuck adventures. Imagine if it was just vulgar. Down the hatch. How I left the plane and what I do with cum.
That's the subtitle?
Yeah.
I love it. That subtitle says it all.
Jet Blue, BLEW.
Yes.
Right.
It's got him with a dick like by his face, but it's painted like a plane.
Yes. Painted like jet blue plane.
It's got little windows on the shaft. Jet black, because he's in like white guys.
Oh, maybe.
Fuck.
He is so gay. How is he married? Boy, he was in denial
It's
for
a
a while.
possibility, Rosanna.
I'm not buying it yet.
Don't shatter the legend. We'll see.
Meanwhile, a massive statue goes up in Times Square depicting one of America's most historic moments.
It's that sailor who...
When the sailor date raped the nurse who he had never met before.
The nurse.
That was the 40s. You
Did
could
they
do that.
know each other? I think that's right.
I think we know about
I thought
this
it was
story.
a spontaneous
It
kiss.
was a spontaneous
It looks
kiss.
all
All right,
wonderful.
Good Day New York is coming right back.
She probably right after that just smacked him in the face.
He yelled rape.
Masher.
Cops looked for him. He went into a brothel, got some fucking gonorrhea, spread it, punched some fucking Asian massage girl in the teeth. Fucking Jeff, bitch. Horrible racist. He went back, fucking lynched a few darkies within 3 weeks of being home.
Holy shit.
He was just grabbing women and kissing them because he thought he was allowed to now. That was right after he got back from the big one where they had nuked Japan.
Yeah.
And he had probably committed a few fucking rapes.
A few atrocities.
As the Allies fucking cleaned up Europe. Yeah, I burned the house of a Polak and raped his family. This nurse looks like her.
Just walked around Times Square with his cock hanging out the rest of the night.
And he wasn't even kissing her, he was biting her mouth. He was so angry that he grabbed her by the hair and bit her mouth, and he was mumbling cunt. And someone thought that she was holding her hat. Like, oh.
Holy shit. The untold story. Wow.
All right. Oh, yeah, sure. Why don't we go to DJ in Queens? Oh, this is the DJ.
Of course. Hi, sir.
morning.
What's up, DJ?
Oh, listen, I had to respond. I called a few weeks ago, and I got so many great responses last time I spoke to you guys. So I wanted to chime in again. Usually when Anthony goes into a racial conniption, I feel the need to come in and kind of add some clarity.
Yeah.
I also have to apologize, Anthony, because last time we spoke, you went on about this whole thing, the Florida shooting, and there's some cops that were shot in Florida. I didn't really give him a solid answer about the black-on-black crime thing.
Right.
I don't want to belabor the issue too much, but bottom line is, I told you about white folks not needing to discern between black people.
Mm-hmm.
I should have gone a little further than that, and basically say that there's such a thing as black trash. Just like you have white trash, you have black trash,
Yeah.
right? But my problem is, I think you need to really make that distinction. Like, you can't have it where everybody is going to be labeled as black trash when they're not.
Right. I've made that distinction. I've always said that it's a disproportionate number based on population. Is all I'm saying.
I'm not disputing that, but on another level, as far as what to do about it, if you could take the microphone away from the Al Sharpton as if he's the official spokesperson of black people, that might tone down some of the stuff and start instilling martial law in some of the areas that we know are affected.
Ooh,
we
I
know,
like that idea.
We know Camden has a certain way of getting down, as they say. We know that East New York has problems. We know that East St. Louis has problems. Oakland, I can go on and on. We know these areas.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, if you're dealing with certain people that are killing other folks, regardless of the race, if it's an 8-year-old boy that can't play in a park somewhere because he's getting shot half a block away, or the grandmother is lucky enough to make it to 95 years of age, and all of a sudden she's minding her own business and gets shot in a living room.
Young Captain.
That's not the way to live. But
No.
you have to start making it where these people are controlled. Period.
Here's the thing with Sharpton being a black spokesman. In order for that not to happen, black people have to break ranks, which they don't like doing, and start. Black people don't call Sharpton. I know most black people think Sharpton's an ass.
We hear it all the time.
But they don't call him out publicly, and you don't hear other black leaders, quote unquote, or black public figures, fuck the word leader, saying, you know what, he's a moron. You hear white guys fighting it out all the time. You never hear, or very rarely do you hear, black people breaking ranks and arguing publicly and going, don't credit him. Look, like if a white guy would be called out and go, look at the racist things he said. Look at the things this jackass has said over the years.
How about they start by calling him an opportunist?
Of course he is.
Yeah, he totally is. He's plugging his march.
I think you have black folks that are, I know there are black people that think that way. I meet them all the time.
Yes.
But the mic is not given to them. Fox will not.
Not true. Not true.
DJ,
Not true.
Somebody's
Not true.
got to call out Reverend Al on TV.
And the microphone.
And you just will not see it for some reason.
And the guys on Fox will do it, the black guys, but it's not just about Fox. They're like, oh, well, they're just shills of Fox. It's about CNN. It's other black, prominent black people who are in the news. Never call him out.
When David Duke went to start his political career, a lot of white people came out and bashed him. You know, as a former Klansman and a racist and a separatist, whatever you want to call it. But a lot of people came out and said, well, this guy doesn't represent me. When you get an Al Sharpton, you might, and I've heard from black people saying, look, Al Sharpton's not my leader. But you know what? When it comes to either agreeing with Al Sharpton or agreeing with white people or policemen that are under investigation for some completely justified shooting, you'll always hear them go to the Al Sharpton side, and rarely to the defense of police officers or white people involved in some kind of problem Al is sticking his fucking face in.
Well, listen, there's a guy, you guys in the radio business, of course. You might have heard of this guy, Ken Hamblin, the Black Avenger. He used to be known for wearing a fedora.
Nope.
Black guy with a fedora?
He used to wear a fedora, one of his trademark things.
Yeah, I know.
He wrote this book called Pick a Better Country. And he clearly denotes about all these different types of black people and uses the term black trash. You have all these folks like, whether it's Thomas Sowell, whether it's John McWhorter, there's plenty of people that I interview on my show. I thought you guys do my own thing on the internet.
Right.
I interview people because on black radio, they're not interviewed. So, I mean, we're not hearing certain people. That's the issue.
All right.
Like I said, if they're not black folks that are conservative, and even if they're not politically conservative, they're definitely socially conservative. But for whatever reason, I think the powers that be would prefer for us for the world to think that we all think monolithically. And I said before, if you can get rid of some of this need to portray us in a certain way, get this martial law going on. Because listen, if Garden City, Long Island, was going through some hellish situation, it'll be under martial law. There'll be no discussion about it. You cannot be in a world where, again, a child, a grandparent, or an innocent person is just treated like collateral damage by other black people, and that just gets a pass. That's just the way it is.
I hear you. I agree with you.
But one thing, sir, is it's not just black people have to be not unafraid after this point to quote unquote break ranks. They have to black people have to be willing to publicly call out the Panthers for the bullshit they pulled at the poll. And I was wrong about that when I first we argued about it. I was wrong. The more I've looked into it and the more I've heard the Panthers speak, I was incorrect. The black people should be calling them out. Or that's the problem is there's still this us mentality because whites are still dominant. It's like they can't keep thinking like if you break ranks, you're a sellout or you're the house slave. They can't. That mentality's got to change.
There's such a negative connotation with breaking ranks and going to the enemy's side when it's just the side that is kind of right. It's just the correct side, whether it's black or white. You know, whatever it is. I think you can make up your mind. You don't have to base it always on racial lines. But all right.
Thanks very much, man.
Thank you. Listen to DJ's show. Fuck Whitey.
That's right.
It's on.
Where could you listen to Fuck Whitey?
Where's your show?
Afro Nerd Radio. AfroNerdRadio.com.
AfroNoRadio.com?
Right.
Okay, man. Thanks a lot.
Take it easy, man.
Thanks again.
I thought it was Afro Nerd.
Yeah, Afro Nerd.
Oh, is it Afro Nerd? I'm sorry.
I don't know. DJ.
Right. I called a few weeks ago.
Yeah, Afro Nerd.
Afro Nerd?
Afro Nerd, N-E-R-D.
Oh, I'm sorry. Afro Nerd. Okay, my fault.
It's because you're black.
We couldn't understand. Bad phone.
Hey, this discussion leads to this.
A Bridgeport couple is the target of a federal housing discrimination suit. They're accused of refusing to sell their home to another couple because the potential buyers are African American.
Well, Robin, the charges allege that Daniel and...
That's pretty fucked up. Because you don't care. You're leaving the neighborhood.
Well,
I know. Guy's just being a good neighbor.
The poor neighbor, though.
It's
he
just
doesn't
weird
want to have to
because-
start singing "The House Next Door to Me."
In this day and age, it's really tough to sell your house to begin with. So
Yeah, if someone's
and then
willing
there's-
to buy.
who gives a shit as long as they're willing to buy?
Oh,
and then
boy.
you're leaving the neighborhood, so why do you care?
American. Well, Robin, the charges allege that Daniel and Adrian Sabia and their real estate agent, Jeff Lowe, stalled negotiations and took their property off the market after learning the prospective buyers are black. The charges are outlined in a federal suit filed today. The prospective buyers in this case are nationally syndicated radio personality and comedian George Wilburn and his wife Peyton. They say they had looked at 30 to 40 houses before finding this Bridgeport home and falling in love with it back in January. The house had been on the market for 2 years and was reduced from almost $2 million to just under $1.8 million. The suit claims the two couples had settled on a selling price of $1.7 million, the highest offer the Sabias had received. But the suit alleges the Sabias refused to close the deal after learning the Wilburns are black. The Wilburns' suspicions were confirmed after the Sabias' realtor told a HUD investigator that Daniel Sabia preferred not to sell to a black family. The Wilburns are outraged.
Oh, this is a fucked up story, man.
Outraged.
He fucked with the wrong guy. He fucked with a comic with a radio show who has probably been fucking yapping about this on the air.
Yep. Fucked up, though.
Zoinks.
That's kind of shitty.
Why does that couple care?
You can't do that. It's against the law. I mean, that's,
Yeah, no, I
why you
understand
can't do
that,
it.
but...
And especially, it's like this guy's a fucking, this guy and his wife obviously have the money. The guy's obviously a responsible dude with a fucking...
doesn't matter.
No reason to do that.
What, sell the house to him? Oh, see, I took it the other way.
That's fucking awful.
It's unacceptable. That word keeps coming in my mind because that's what it is.
Yes.
And people who do this and companies who allow it, real estate, anybody who allows this to happen should be held accountable.
In filing the suit, HUD released a statement that reads in part, racial fairness is important at all income levels. Civil rights enforcement must be an effective shield against housing discrimination that in this case, wealth was not. Prudential Rubloff Properties, the real estate broker, is also named in the suit. All respondents are accused of violating the Fair Housing Act, which prohibits housing discrimination based on race and other factors. The Wilburns say they've received threatening emails since filing the complaint with HUD and fear for their family. They say they no longer want anything to do with that house. We were unsuccessful in contacting the Sabias for their response to this suit. The Wilburns say that they will be seeking punitive damages.
Oh, boy.
It's rare that I side with the plaintiff in a suit like this. That's usually annoying, but you got to side with the fucking Wilburn. That's just shitty. You can't not sell a guy a fucking... guy wants to buy a $1.7 million house, and you're not going to sell it to him? Fuck that.
No, they couldn't get in touch with the people that own the house because they were having a block party with the rest of the neighbors, being hoisted in the air as heroes.
Jesus.
They're calling the new Savia Way. They're going to name it.
Savia Way. Oh, Jesus Christ. Savia Way. A big unveiling of the street sign.
We tried to interview the Savias, but the neighbors were all, and you hear them in the backyard, for he's a Johnny
Bravo, man.
God
That's
damn.
a fucked up story,
Yeah,
though.
you can't do that.
That
And
is
yeah,
irritating.
The guy, I guess there is a mindset that there's going to be problems if your whole neighborhood is crack houses and you got gang members moving in and whatnot.
Yeah.
But this, I think, is more of a class thing than a race thing. You get a successful black couple moving into a $1.7 million house in the neighborhood. I don't think there's going to be shenanigans going on. People are scared. People are scared of things like the neighborhood going to shit. And you know something? I'll be honest. It's probably a viable concern in some circumstances. Now, the law says you cannot discriminate against people of different races that want to buy your house. But I'm sure there are some neighborhoods that don't fall into that very wealthy neighborhood or class of houses where neighborhoods, and it's happened. It's happened in the suburbs of Detroit. It's happened. I mean, they've had to pull back the borders of Detroit just to make Detroit smaller to try to get rid of some of the horrible statistics that they have there because the suburbs are just crumbling. So it does happen, and I do see why people are fearful of it, but I don't think it applies in this circumstance.
Yeah, this is just a guy being it seems like he's being just a racist asshole.
Yeah.
You know, you just can't do it. You can't not sell.
You sure he didn't get a better offer from somebody else, and then he's
No,
just
they said
trying
this
to
was the
renege?
highest offer.
Yeah, he reneged on the deal.
He reneged. That's funny. Oh, Gregorio.
Oh, my goodness
Shame
gracious.
on you. Oh, sure.
Let's say hi to Dave in D.C. Dave.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, happy birthday, Jimmy.
Whoa.
I wanted to let you know that we kind of had an almost a reverse situation out by where I live out in the suburbs of Grand Old D.C. We've got a black neighbor, and when they're across the street, who's catty-corner to my house, put their house up on the market, they actually went over and said, we want you to only sell your house to a black family.
All right.
And they
I'm
end up
sure
not,
it happens both ways.
Sure.
You know, this just not to ignore your amazing life-changing point, but Patrice, to get into Patrice's head for a second, like Patrice would say, now you see what I mean?
Get into Patrice's head, turn into a giant hamburger.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Sorry, Patrice. You know I love you.
Oh, my God. Imagine as smart as Patrice is if that's all he thinks of is giant hamburgers with legs walking in his... Now, he would say, I think he would say...
More cartoon stuff. I love it.
This happens all the time. He would say, this is how obvious it has to be for white people to acknowledge it. Like, the real estate person had to come out and say, yes, they said don't sell to black people. Because if they didn't say that, if the real estate person did not reveal that,
plausible deniability,
white people would go, oh, come on, he just didn't want to sell to that family. It's not a racial thing.
Right,
it has to be that obvious for white people to admit that it exists. Now I'm out of Patrice's head, and it feels much better already to be outside. I don't like being in your head.
I live in a very diverse neighborhood. It's
rich and richer, as Bush would say, the haves and have-nots.
It's
you're the diversity.
Jews. I am.
It's all Jews and one filth bag.
I am the what would be called the N-word of the neighborhood. It's all Jewish people and a couple of Indians, rich Indian like doctors and stuff in the neighborhood. And I'm the filthy guinea that puts up his gaudy dumb Christmas lights instead of a menorah in the window. Has parties and gets home very early in the daytime, and no one knows what I do. I'm sure they think I'm in the mafia. I'm sure. It's like, what else would you think?
We think you're in the mafia.
Here's some guinea coming home in his Escalade in the morning.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
And it's just like, oh, okay.
They see you leaving at weird hours and coming home very early.
And my neighbors don't talk to me.
Why would they?
I don't mind. I don't care. But I feel discriminated against. I'm going to file suit. Just trying to think what I would think if I found out like the house next door to me
was sold too.
Was sold.
To a black dentist in his family?
It would bother me.
What, really?
And the truth of the matter is, no. If it's not,
it wouldn't bother
the
you?
Bloods and the Crips moving in. No, because it doesn't. It's not a race thing. It's a crime thing. It's a quality of life thing. And I wouldn't mind, some professional black family wants to move next to me. As long as they don't have kids, because they're always trouble. I mean, just kids in general. White, black, whatever. If I have to toss the basketball over my fence one more time for the little kid next door, and they're white.
Exactly. If
That's
they're
why
black, they'd never
awful.
lose it.
I know. It would hit the friggin' rim every time they're going. These kids are just winging it over the backboard.
You know how you solve
Mister!
that? You know how you solve that problem? You pop your head over the fence with the basketball with a knife and just
throw it back. Thud. It makes that thud in the driveway.
doesn't bounce anymore. Guess what? You're not getting any more basketballs.
Hey, mister, can I have my basketball?
Can I tell you a funny tweet I got, which has nothing to do with what we're talking about? It just made me laugh.
Do a Biff Tannen and throw it up on his roof. Yeah. Yes, sir?
I'm sorry. I don't know.
No, it's fine. What did you get?
This guy just wrote, I got the hot garbage farts. I should go share these hot and putrid treats with the wife rather than shame the dogs. Funny. People out there just do.
Hot garbage.
But that's just a guy just farting and realizing I want to go give these to my wife.
Oh, my God. That's horrible.
Isn't that great?
That really brings your numbers down in a marriage, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
Farting?
Oh.
Not only farting, but like purposefully farting in their presence, really nasty ones, things like that.
You could get away with it as long as you say, I'm embarrassed after you do it.
I'm embarrassed?
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to do?
You tell yourself that.
I'm embarrassed. Can we take a break and get into the Stop the Mosque song after the break?
We sure can.
And what, David Patterson's offering some, what, tax breaks or something?
It's not going to matter. They're not going to accept it.
They're not going to?
No, of course. No, why would
we'll get it. We'll get into the latest on the mosque at Ground Zero. A lot of people outraged.
Outraged.
Are you outraged?
I am. No, I don't have time to be outraged. No, I am outraged about that. I think it's a slap in the face of everybody in the country, first of all, and then especially a slap in the face of people that had to go through that shit down there.
Insensitive.
It is. And why, as Jimmy stated, why do we have to be the sensitive ones and the tolerant ones and the ones that say, no, we should open our arms and accept this as a gesture of peace and look what we can do, instead of these Muslims saying, hey, we should open our arms and give a gesture of peace and understanding by not putting it there and realize that we can understand people's emotions and how hurt they are, and not have this mosque that represents the religion, the extremist religion that brought down the towers and killed thousands of people.
Yeah, how about they say that we our religion is a religion of peace, but it's also a religion of understanding. Mm-hmm. And there's a common sense thing that we kind of get why people wouldn't want it here, and it doesn't mean that they're bigots or hateful.
Right.
But this was still fresh in everybody's mind. A lot of people died here in the name of this. They never will do that.
You be
never.
Understanding. How about you be understanding
They're not
for a
going to
fucking
be.
minute?
Not going to
and
be.
then them sending this imam over there on our taxpayer fucking money, sending the head of this mosque over to the Middle East to fucking talk about Islam in America and tolerance and how wonderful this is. On our dime, this motherfucker is flying over there.
Right.
We're just whisking him around to the Middle East, probably so he could recruit more motherfuckers to come down to his mosque.
And
I'm sick of them.
The same thing will happen that happened in England. The longer the mosques become, like the mosques are going to be here, but they tolerate more and more radical. It's amazing the amount of radical rhetoric we tolerate here. And not just speech, but speech that leads to things like that blind cleric that that fucking pig Lynn Stewart defended. Thank God she's in jail for all those years now. She's going to die in jail.
Oh, good. That slob. Well, she was so pretty, though.
It's very rare that I'd rather eat somebody's ass than kiss them. That's how awful she was. I'd rather lick the blind cleric's eyeballs.
And everything you heard, we'll say after the break, because that's wonderful. That's how you handle a radio tease. You tease something, and then you make all your points before the break.
We pulled a Bobo.
Yes. No, it was Oscar.
Was it? Oscar.
I don't think Jimmy has met Oscar yet. You're going to have to meet Oscar soon.
Oh, yeah.
But after the break, we will do the Stop the Mosque song.
Sirius XM, the virus.
I can't believe anyone is still listening to this show.
You're listening to Opie and Anthony.
Cool.
Opie and Anthony.
Yeah.
So we got a Grammy Award-winning producer.
Oh?
Trade Martin? I don't know. I have no idea what this person produced to win a Grammy. But there's a ridiculous song out called Stop the Mosque.
Stop the Mosque, huh? I love these.
Big story here in New York, of course. A mosque going up about a block or so away from Ground Zero, where many, many people died.
Is it a block from Ground Zero? I want to know exact distance.
It's 2 blocks. Close enough. There was some dust in the area, for sure.
Walking distance, exactly.
There was a wall of dust in that area, I'm sure, as people were running for their lives, screaming bloody murder. So this guy took it upon himself, I think it's a guy, to make a song. Or is it a girl? I don't know.
I have no clue.
Let's take a listen here.
Let's hear it.
We've got freedom of religion.
Oh, my God, it's one of these. Freedom of religion. Is that what they're saying?
In 2010, how about a nice copy of the song?
How about a nice mix?
Jesus.
We've got freedom of religion. I understand. But Ground Zero is one location where
we already gave it away.
Where a
mosque must not stand.
Yeah, but it said stand twice then.
I understand.
But I would think, yeah, a mosque can't stand.
Where a mosque must not stand.
Yeah.
one location where a mosque shouldn't stand.
Yeah! America, fuck yeah!
I hear that too. Fuck y'all.
And suck on my balls.
You can't make that happy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thousands of Americans died. Yes, they did.
Yeah. They were jumping out the windows and on fire, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Terrible.
Jesus fucking asshole.
Christ, sucks.
You can make it into a happy fucking lyric. Listen to that again,
damn.
man.
This is terrible.
It's not a good song.
Mosque shouldn't stand. Mosque at Ground Zero. Thumbing its nose at every victim and hero. Thousands of Americans died in the attacks that day. And that's a cold hard fact.
I designate.
Oh wait, there's the talk part now.
Yeah.
This is where the little bells ring in the back.
Very poignant.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
They
yeah.
died. They jumped. They burned. Right, we get it. It was tragic.
Yeah.
Well, fuck.
This is not a good song.
That's a cold hard fact.
I designate Burlington the war memorial.
Can't let them build it. No. There's a painful memory in our mind.
Painful memory in our minds.
How about they're going to take those planes and fly them right up our collective behinds? No? How about there's the sun in my eyes, somebody draw the blinds? No?
I'm not sure if that was the rhyme line after
Oh,
that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is.
Our hearts keep breaking when we envision that tragic time. Can't let 'em do it. We gotta stop the mosque.
Stick Ground Zero.
Thumbing its nose at every victim. Oh yeah, thousands of Americans died in the
Oh, they died.
Yeah.
By the way, this will be stuck in everybody's head.
This is really
It's not
bad.
tragic if you follow that fucking form.
No.
A Pabst Blue Ribbon after hard day's work.
That's what it is.
Sounds
It's
like a beer
one of those
commercial.
party songs.
Thousands of Americans died in the attack. It's a sacred place, and that's a cold hard fact.
Cold hard fact.
Islam.
Yeah, we gotta stop it. Can't let them build it.
We gotta be bigger. Don't let the mosque be built by a bunch of sand. Oh, there's gotta be something. Wait a minute. Is this on TV?
This is horrendous.
Gotta stop it. Can't let them build it. God help must retain the honor and trust.
Right there.
Yeah. Honor and trust. Must bust.
Bust. It's gonna be
After that Savage hit the reverse engine thrust.
I wouldn't doubt it with this shit song.
Or what did he say? What was the thing? The trust.
Yeah.
Defend America's honor, we must.
Yeah, it's got to be must.
You're gonna go with must.
I'm going with must.
What was it? Trust.
Yeah.
Trust.
What else is lust? Bust.
Go through
Bust.
the alphabet. Dust.
Oh.
Dust.
You know something? That ain't bad.
Yeah.
Dust. Something about the fucking
Disgust.
the
Very good.
Dust of the fucking building. Something with the
Ashes
dust.
to ashes and dust to dust.
What is that? The new Sammy Hagar, David Lee Roth song?
We're back.
People saying it has to be Matt and Trey fucking around. It does have a Matt and Trey feel to
maybe.
it, doesn't it?
Honor and trust. In God we trust. For all the families that have suffered so damn much.
Oh, that's
You
much.
can't
But
do much.
so damn much.
When you got to put damn in there to make it work, it's terrible.
So damn much.
And I don't think Matt and Trey are fucking with Islam for a little while.
Yeah, good point.
Damn much. We got to stop the musket ground zero. Oh, yeah. Coming snows at every victim hero. Thousands of Americans died in the attack. It's a sacred place, and that's a cold
Hard fact.
Are you kidding me? 3,000 people died a block and a half away. Are you serious?
Many innocent Americans were killed.
Right there.
Let 'em build.
Killed. Oh, if we let him
Build. Killed.
kill, he said kill, but he can't say build twice. We let him build.
Americans were killed. If we let 'em build it, can't you see? They'll turn 9/11 to a mockery.
Oh, like you're not
God.
turning it into a mockery.
Yeah, you are.
Where you got a toe tapper about people jumping to their deaths?
A toe tapper.
Well, it's a toe tapping fucking
Wow.
beat he's following.
We gotta stop the musket ground zero. Oh yeah! Thumbing their nose at every victim. Making fools of us. Thousands of Americans died in the attack. It's a slap in the face, and there's no doubt about it. We gotta stop the musket ground zero. I can hear you. The rest of the world hears you. Hears you. Hears you. Hears you. Hears you. Hears you. Hears you.
That's supposed to really make us feel for it. And,
That can't be real.
oh, God, did that suck.
Oh, shit, really?
What?
T-Storm has this guy's fucking single.
Yeah, because he was a Grammy Award winner.
Oh,
winning producer. Trey Martin.
1962?
He hasn't done anything since 62?
We gotta keep the commies away from Cuba.
62. You could go with...
yeah.
Why did the mic just get really loud?
It just really got loud. Everything got loud.
What's going on?
What got hit?
I don't know. You heard that, right?
Yeah. I just went to adjust something. What happened?
I don't know.
What happened?
Who knows?
Ghosts in the Sing-a-thon.
I don't know. Was T-Storm, did you hit something?
No, you guys sound fine. It's
No,
gotta be
something just went really loud in my headphones.
Real loud.
Something got loopy.
And now it's back to normal.
What's the song?
I hope it is.
Here's the guy's song from 1962. Is he singing on this, or did he produce this? Do you know anything?
This is the only thing that he did. He released a solo album in the '60s.
Don't build that black church.
Yeah. Or don't let them leave Dallas alive.
Oh, shit. Cool.
I look at her and my heart says run to her, run fast. Then suddenly I realize
I couldn't fuck her in the ass. Oh.
that stranger, yeah.
He raped me in a van, that stranger. Came by head and with a rock in the woods, that stranger. Pissed on my face, that stranger. Took a shit in my mouth, we don't have DNA yet, that stranger. My next next victim, that hoe. I'm gonna bite her toes and punch her in the clit.
Once I meant the world to her. She used to hold me close to her.
He likes rhyming her a lot.
Yeah.
Said goodbye. She couldn't care now if I live or die.
He got ditched. She went to that stranger.
That stranger used to be
Da, da. Black stranger. Black stranger.
Ruining the neighborhood, black stranger.
Da, da, da. This is a ripoff of another song.
Run Around Sue.
Keep away from Run Around Sue.
Sue has Down syndrome. Sue has Down syndrome and she's just running around in circles and nobody wants her to touch them.
Run around, Sue.
Just sticky hands.
Black Danger. Black Danger. Why? Yeah, people are commenting, any song with a tuba solo stinks.
Property value changer.
That rocks. And he decided to wait till now for a big comeback?
I guess so.
That's good.
Yeah, Big Red from Vancouver writes, thousands of deaths have never sounded so joyous.
Yeah, that
Going
was
back to the Stop the Mosque song.
a happy song, that Stop the Mosque.
Yeah, all right, well...
Stop the Mosque.
Stop the Mosque. Hey, we got what Reverend Al said on TV.
Oh, goody.
Remember?
Yeah, this is in reference to the
shootings
little
up in Harlem?
gunfight up there in Harlem. Allegedly, a gentleman by the name of Alvarez, I believe, had a revolver, shot and killed a gentleman over a dispute with about a woman.
Who was the family man? I remember watching the news and they said he was a family man.
Why? I guess maybe the guy he shot, because I know this guy was just, like Jimmy said, they found coke and cash and all kinds of stuff in his place. So he shot a gentleman, killing him, and then the cops showed up, and the reports are that he started firing at the police, and the police returned fire. There wasn't just one cop on scene. I think there was something like 4, maybe even more, and they opened fire on him. Hit him 22 times out of 50 rounds that were fired. One cop got hit by another cop's bullet. It hit his vest, and he's all right. But a lot of bullets flying.
Is the guy going to be all right?
This guy, it looks like he's going to pull through.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, Reverend Al is doing his dog and pony show.
All right, yeah.
All over the news. And
he sees an opportunity.
He had this to say today.
The message I got from your meeting was that, it's got to start at home, and that families need to come together and stop buying these illegal
Oh, no,
guns.
I think that this particular incident wouldn't have happened without the gunfire in the first place. So let's start there. Did the police make a mistake? Are they wrong, need more training? I think so. But I think the police wouldn't have been there, even untrained, if there hadn't been shooting and if there hasn't been violence. Last weekend alone, the Bronx, 3 or 4 in Harlem, Brooklyn. We've got to deal with this violence. We've got to deal with parenting, and we've got to challenge this thug mentality. Ooh. We cannot back away from that. And as we challenge police and others to be fair, I don't march and go to jail for kids to be thugs in my community. I want them to have an even playing field so they can be something productive and responsible.
Wow, maybe fucking Reverend Al is hearing the voices.
What the hell did I just hear out of Reverend Al?
That's a heel turn right
Although
there.
I like the little bash on the cops in the first place.
He has to.
He had to do that.
Of course he has to.
But that whole thug mentality thing. But how far is he going to take that?
That's a heel turn, Ant.
Because this is the only way he could get involved in this story without everyone turning around and saying, you're a real fuck, just bashing the cops every time. Because now he sees this is a thug guy shooting, so he had to come out with the thug mentality thing.
You know how it had to be that fucking housing person admitting that they said don't sell to blacks? It had to be that obvious. For him to say this, it had to be that obvious.
Yeah.
It's almost like he knows even he can't pull this off when guys are shooting at each other and the cops show up.
Yeah, he can't just say the cops are wrong. Oh, what are they supposed to do? They're being shot at.
Yeah. And I bet you that they were not all white officers then.
Probably not. We have a very diverse NYPD now.
We sure do.
Yeah, because, well, they changed the tests and changed the promotions and things like they do with the fire department because
Cool, that's
they're
fair.
racist and not open for diversity. So you'd rather get the less qualified person in there than the more qualified person based on race. Thank you.
That sounds very logical.
Of course it does. It's the American way.
I disagree.
Let's go to let's go to Cleveland, Andy.
Hey, morning, boys.
Morning.
I don't know who had it on their cover. I want to say it was either Time or Newsweek, but somebody had Reverend Al recently, big as life, on their cover, and the picture speaks volumes. He's wearing a massively expensive suit. He just looks like the attention pimp that he is. It's absolutely horrible. I don't know. It's a visual for the radio, but I just can't believe they gave him the cover.
No, good job.
Yeah, that was that really added a lot.
Yeah, I like that.
Let's go to Albany. Chris?
Yeah, hi. I wanted to, when you guys talk about freedom of religion
Yeah.
and the mosque, I just wanted to kind of give you some insider view on the New York State prisons, how the mosques and how they've used freedom of religion, or I should say the guise of it, to get different amenities towards religion.
Now, let me preface this, sir, by saying you are indeed a corrections officer.
I'm one of the. I work for the union. I've been
Mobster.
for 28 years, but yeah, I'm a correction officer.
Okay, good.
All right.
So, got to watch since 1982. Got to watch the religion grow. Number one, it's kind of a breeding ground for like anti-American sentiment.
Of course it is.
And, it's more of a gang thing, which kind of cracked me up when you were just talking about the Reverend Al thing with the violence as far as all the different inmates that they're letting out now, much easier. And these are gang members that are going back out into the community to teach and show others the gang life. But anyway, getting back to the mosques, on Sundays when we have Catholic services, if you have, let's say, 200 inmates in a chapel, you might have 15, 20 officers in there.
Mm-hmm.
And on right after that, they have Protestant services, pretty much the same thing. But then on Friday, with Juma, in the mosque, you might have 300-400 inmates going into the mosque.
Oof.
Can you imagine how many officers are in there?
2.
0.
Really?
We're not allowed in there. Freedom of religion. They put the prayer rug by the front door, and in order for us to enter, we would have to remove our shoes.
Uh-huh.
So you guys just allow this?
So you can't have any security in there and listen to what they're saying and talking about or anything like that?
Well, we hear things from the doors, but the doors are closed. I mean, the department does not want any obviously religion problems because it falls under that guise of freedom of religion.
So why doesn't someone take their shoes off to see what's going on in there?
Yeah, get some barefoot officers in there.
I don't think you'd find any officer that'd be willing to do that.
No, huh?
I mean, you're putting yourself in a serious situation where a lot of times you
give you a hot foot.
If you're the hot foot, if you're in a use of force situation, you want to have your shoes on.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, I think the safety of the officers should trump. As long as you're not interfering with their service, I think you should be allowed to fucking.
Yeah,
they should move the
stand
rug
in that fucking place and fucking watch them. They're plotting.
Well, they figured it out a long time ago, and it's been a long-standing policy. So we don't go in there and
jump over the rug.
Exactly.
Jump over it if they're going to be mad.
We'll use a rope and pulley system.
Pole vaulter. Rope and pulley.
Well, then they would have
do some Mission Impossible shit.
The giant slingshot.
Get over the rug, yeah.
We'll get there early. We'll ride on someo's back.
Right.
Ask for a piggyback in.
There's so many solutions we're giving you.
Exactly.
Well, we're on the outside because we have to, number one, if you pat down the inmates going in, you have to check all their koofies, what they're hiding.
Koofies?
What's a kufi?
That's the thing, the prayer thing they wear on their head, the hat.
Oh. A hat!
So they've, and that's even changed over the years where it used to be, it had to be flat to the head, only one color. Now it's multicolored and it doesn't have to be flat to the head. And that's a whole other story. But the most ironic part of the whole thing is on Fridays, when you've got hundreds of inmates lined up to go into the service that either want to go join the gang or have been in the gang, they've got this other thing where they have to cleanse themselves prior to the service, which obviously no other religion has to do. So we have to provide a sink for them. So you've got one line going in to wash their hands prior to the service. The other one's coming out cleaning their hands, but then going over and bumping or shaking hands with their newly cleansed hands with somebody who hasn't cleaned their hands.
What a pain in the ass.
No kidding.
God, right.
I could get into Ramadan, but that's 30 days. So.
Yeah. We get it, Chris, definitely.
All right, thank you. We're going to go talk to a black Republican.
What?
Ross.
All right.
What do you mean? How about
You're the guy?
Yeah. Thank you, Kenny.
A black Republican. My God.
Hey guys, how you doing? Yeah, well, as you know, I'm one of the few black Republicans in a family full of liberals. I've gone to school filled with liberal Democrats, and I kind of feel a little like Anthony does. I think as I get more and more educated, and as I make more and more money, I start to resent taxes, and on top of that, I noticed right away, like you're talking about Reverend Al and this more. I don't know if you mentioned Harry Reid and what he said about the Hispanics, about how I don't.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, let me explain something. And it kind of is in play with how white people on the right wing felt about Barack Obama when all the blacks voted for him, like 99%. And the thing about it is, blacks see him as representing them. Mm-hmm. And as a Democrat, most black people are born right into the Democrat Party. They don't know why they're Democrats. If you really talk to them, like, they wouldn't be able to explain to you why exactly they're a Democrat unless they've gotten to college or unless they've gotten to grad school. Then they can explain to you why they're a liberal or why they're a conservative. And I think the more educated they get, they're going to be fiscally conservative. And I think they're also going to, depending upon their religion or how much they believe in God, that's how they're going to sway abortion or, pro-life. That's what, it depends how strong you are there or in the other place. Now, okay, as for Reverend Al Sharpton, black people have absolutely no radio that represents them as a whole over the entire country. The problem with blacks is the church has represented them since post-slavery. So when you used to have somebody who's like a reverend, whether it's Jesse Jackson or whether it's Al Sharpton, they have to seriously say something stupid or put their foot in their mouths in order for people to stop believing in them. Jesse Jackson fucked up and said, I would like to castrate Obama. Right after that, I noticed every single black liberal I knew turned on Jesse Jackson and said, I don't want to hear anything from this idiot anymore.
Well, you know what else he said, too, besides Hymietown, which he was forgiven for, is he said he's talking down to niggas. He said that. And even
exactly.
And this was after targeting Imus and all these other things. And Fox didn't even kill him for that. They didn't even replay that like they should have.
No, but understand something. The reason why Fox didn't say anything about it was because we were already on him for it. They didn't say anything about that because he was attacking Barack Obama. It's not only a color thing, but on top of that, it's a political thing, and on top of that, there's a religious aspect. Now, speaking of religion, the mosque, I live in New York City. Frankly, I don't have a problem with them putting a mosque. What pisses me off is the fact that 10 fucking years later, the World Trade Center hasn't been rebuilt.
Yeah,
it took 11 years. It took 11 years to build those buildings from nothing. And now I've got to deal with this fucking mayor, and I've got to deal with these other people who, who own all that property and who are basically all hand in hand. And these people will not rebuild those towers.
Isn't that amazing?
It
took 10 years to build the World Trade Center towers.
Here's my question. Why don't they do the democratic thing and allow the people to vote for whether or not there's a mosque and allow the people to vote for whether or not there's the World Trade Center?
Bloomberg doesn't like people voting for things. He likes just making up his own mind and shit
and
like
I've
that.
Got a problem with that. See, and the problem is people are so poorly educated at this point that they're worried about fucking Snooki on Jersey Shore than they are about what's going on in the government.
Well, let me ask you a question, too. Did you know, you mentioned Harry Reid. Do you notice how this is the second thing he has said?
Yes, yeah, but okay.
And they don't target him the way they would with somebody else. He is allowed. He's given a pass.
I understand where you're going with this, but understand something. Harry Reid is a Democrat.
Yep.
Harry Reid is on, quote unquote, our side.
Yes.
So if he's speaking for us, and I've seen this play, because Harry Reid's comment, I can understand what he was saying when he was saying it. He's basically saying this: the Republicans and Fox News are hand in hand bashing Hispanics. So how the fuck could you be a Hispanic and want to be a Republican? That's all he's basically saying.
Right.
He can't say it in the language that I'm using right now, because he would be attacked just for using, for basically implying that all Hispanics should be Democrats in order to vote rather than be on the side of the Republicans.
But he's allowed the gift of context. Like, he's given the leeway of context because he's on the right side of most of the media.
Correct side.
The correct side, yes.
Yeah.
Right, but Harry Reid also made a comment about Barack Obama. Oh yeah,
Yes.
About him being good or colored or something.
Yes.
I can't remember the exact comment. But the thing about it is, I take a look at one of my liberal uncles. When he heard that, he basically said, "Okay, yeah, I can understand what Harry Reid's saying." Now let me be clear. I understand what Harry Reid was trying to say, but if Sean Hannity said that exact same thing, you'd have had people angry at him. But it's only because he's on the Republican side, representing the conservatives. So you got to understand, it's not just a color thing. If Barack Obama was Alan Keyes, I wouldn't have voted for. I would have voted for Hillary over him, and I'm black. I could have. If Barack Obama was a Republican, and black people turned on the television and saw that at the Republican National Convention, that the only thing in that crowd was a bunch of white people wearing cowboy hats, like they did when they saw Sarah Palin standing there. If they saw that, then they'd say, wait a minute, this guy is not on our side. This guy's not black enough. The thing about it is, that's exactly what you get with Alan Keyes. So you look at Alan Keyes. He throws his lesbian daughter out because she's a lesbian. Alan Keyes...
Did he really?
Yes, he did, because he threw his lesbian daughter out because he doesn't want gays in his house. And then on top of that, Alan Keyes was on television calling Barack Obama a radical communist. So right away, the first instinct is to say, oh, you're an Uncle Tom. Oh, you're a traitor. Right away, because, of course, it's not just about color. It's about us being in a political party and saying we're going to back up whoever says anything, regardless what they say. And I was talking about the Muslim situation that right now with the mosque. One of the things I hate about Islam is the fact that they recruit out of prison. And they take these black boys who've been put in prison. They take these Hispanic boys, too, because I have a Hispanic friend who just joined Islam. But they take these people out of prison, uneducated, and what they do is they give them the structure that they never had at home. They give them a structure, they give them a religious background, and all of a sudden you see people who would have been slinging crack rock, all of a sudden they're wearing kufis and they're praying and putting their head on the ground. That's the name of it. It's just like the Jewish skull cap. What's that called?
Yarmulke.
Yeah,
you're going to get you're going to get a bad element if you're recruiting from the prisons. I understand that.
When I was in college, I was surrounded by liberals, and the thing about it is, whenever I would speak and say, okay, I can understand what Newt Gingrich is trying to say, or I can understand what somebody's trying to say, right away I'm attacked, and they say, oh, well, you're just a right winger, or you're Uncle Tom.
Yeah.
But they look past this. You have to understand. Again, somebody said blacks don't think one way. They don't think one way. There are conservative blacks out there, and the Republican Party was the party of the black person simply
with Lincoln, yes.
The Ku Klux Klan was the radical wing of the Democrat Party. So why would you? Why nobody knows that, because nobody knows their history. Martin Luther King was a Republican. I consider myself a Republican, but the problem is when the Dixiecrats took over, and all of a sudden you had the people who were in the Ku Klux Klan start to migrate, and they start to go over to the Republican side. Black people saw that and they said, "Okay, we don't want to be there anymore." So automatically they're against it.
Yeah.
That's all.
So why did you call?
I call every time you guys have a racial discussion. Every time you have a racial discussion, I want to talk.
Okay.
I just want to say
Actually,
Thank you.
thank you, Ross.
Thank you, Ross, so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, for some reason or another, you sound a little taller on radio.
On radio.
Here's my favorite part of that clip.
Yes, exactly.
Was I had the gift of seeing Anthony's hand for 8 minutes hovering over the button.
Stuck on that button.
He now has arthritis.
Just waiting
Well, guys,
for a gap that I could hit that fucking button in.
we're gonna wrap up this discussion with Bobby Muslim. Bobby Muslim is on the phone. Bobby Muslim
From Mecca.
Welcome to the Opie and Anthony Show.
Hey, what's going on, dude? I'm just reading the Quran, working on my iPad, drinking my coffee, wearing it too. You know, dude, just kind of, you know, you got the...
Oh, boy. He's trying.
Oh, dude, what's going on, dude? It seems like something's going on over there.
Oh,
dude, I'm just
you know
buzzing
what,
over
dude?
here.
You throw down your prayer mat. Boom, you got your IED. You throw it in your backpack.
See, that's it.
That's how you
There
do
you
it.
go, dude.
Yeah. But, dude.
You got your coffee and that other
Dude,
thing
you're
that sounds like
beheading
coffee.
Women, you're stoning them, dude.
What's the
Yeah.
other thing? What do they wear? The goof?
A goofy.
A goofy and a
They
cup
put
of
on
coffee.
a goofy hat or something, right?
You know what, dude? She's got a burqa. Boom, the eyes you can see. Boom.
Dude.
Boom, it's the sound it makes when a truck drives over what we planted. Boom.
What a great potential bit this is.
I know, but he couldn't really pull
All
it
right,
off.
Bobby
We give
Muslim,
you a
thank you.
A for
Live
effort
from Mecca.
and an F for execution.
You didn't like the execution?
He stunk. God. Boy, it just goes to show you how much a black Republican really wants to talk because he's got no one to talk to.
He's actually never talked that long without somebody walking away or going, shut up.
Uncle Tom, they calling him, whatever.
He couldn't believe that we were being polite.
I know.
All
right.
Well, that was wonderful.
I liked Alan Keyes, so I found out.
Mayor
throughout his
Bloomberg's
daughter.
on TV.
They were with you as long as they could be.
Stand up.
Showed up. Some came through the side door, not through the front door where the media was camped
He
out.
came through the
and
back
of course,
door.
There were a handful of protesters
Allegations.
outside, including some of
Hell
the
was
people
that?
who were running
The
against
disaster behind her. Holy shit. Look, it smokes a cigarette.
Jeez.
It's signing.
Recipient in all of Congress, in the entire House.
So some are calling this party overall a test of loyalty for Rangel and his...
Charlie Rangel.
I'm 80 years old, and I'm not going anywhere.
reminding his guests to show up. Later today, it's moving forward in terms of his campaign.
Oh, my God, what a whore.
I hope the cameraman's looking out for her.
Hey, we got Chris Hardwick coming in today.
He is.
Playing Carolines.
Carolines.
You know who Chris Hardwick is, right?
Of course. Got the bio right in front of me.
From Web Soup. Little offshoot of Talk Soup.
Yeah.
But he deals with the web. You know Chris Hardwick.
He's doing Patrice's old show. Web Junk.
Is it like that? Is it like Tosh 1.0? Which I'm familiar with, but I've not
It's
seen.
kind of a thing like...
I finally started watching
like
Tosh
the soup.
Point or whatever
I hear
it's
it's
called.
good.
I like it. I definitely like his show. And we got Chris Hardwick doing Web Soup. Yeah, they deal with like what's going on in the internet.
In the intranets.
While Joel
Yes.
McHale does the Talk Soup thing, you know.
Joel? Cool.
Joel McHale.
Too busy for a one-on-one.
What happened?
He was a little busy, Jimmy.
What happened? He used to do our show all the time. What happened?
It might not even be him. It might be his stupid representative.
When you went out to what? San
Comic-Con.
Diego?
Just the fact that for his show, Chevy Chase, they wanted us to do another round table, like the humiliating one that we were subjected to with Sigourney Weaver and Timbre, all of who were very nice.
Yeah.
But I was not going to do a round table with a guy that I've sat next to in the studio and interviewed a bunch
Many
of times and hung
times.
out
Of
with.
course. One-on-one.
So we requested a one-on-one, and the people said, no, he's looking forward to doing the show again, but there'll be no time for a one-on-one.
Well, if he's looking forward to doing the show, that was his opportunity to do the show.
To do the show.
You were there doing the show.
Jimmy was doing a segment for this
business is
very
just
show.
It's fucking horrendous, and radio guys get no respect whatsoever. But you know what I'm saying? Dude, it makes
No
me
shit.
sick. It makes me sick, and then
My producer, Vinny Boombots.
they could have given us... Penn Jillette was fucking unbelievably cool.
He rules, man.
Dude, before he did a sound check, he's like, whatever you guys need. You know, he's just such a fucking loud animal. And he sat down and we just yapped for like 8-10 minutes, and then he had to go do it. He was great.
Yeah,
but he's a guy there's no bullshit in that guy.
No, that's his show's name, so there is. See, it's bullshit.
You're right. No, I agree. But he said he's a friend of the show, and he fucking hung out and he talked. He was just, he treated us the way he would treat us in studio, which was, he's a genuine guy. And I'm not saying Joel's not genuine. Maybe it was his rep. Maybe it was his rep.
Yeah.
I was stepped over. They asked me to do something that only print journalists are doing.
You
the
want
way
that?
Comic-Con wanted it. It ain't the way I wanted it. Gotta keep doing the scene, Jim.
Gonna learn the blog business.
I don't know what's going on.
He was banging bloggers 2 at a time. Players couldn't get a snarky remark at the table. Mike, you don't go online and anonymously blog about I
knew we were going a little too far.
Too far, too fast.
damn
Mo
it.
Vegas.
Mo Vegas.
Oh,
I
God.
love Mo Vegas.
Boo. I should be shot in the eye while getting a massage.
I'm going to go gamble at Lost Green.
All right, well.
Wow. That was
yeah.
That fell apart.
Yes, it's.
If we don't know who Chris Hardwick is, then why are we having him in today then?
Well, it's not that I've heard of him. I've heard he's a funny dude.
Funny guy. He's
Yeah,
from
I don't know him.
Carolines. He's an old radio guy.
Oh, okay.
Here's how
he did
we...
Singled Out on MTV with Jenny McCarthy. Remember that?
Yeah.
And also was there when Carmen Electra was doing the show. He's been in a Rob Zombie movie. Does Attack of the Show on G4. And does Web Soup for E.
I don't have to know somebody to hear that they're funny and have them anyway.
Oh, there's a favor to Steve Blatter?
This is how we get...
Why is it a
what?
favor? Why are we doing favors?
It's a favor.
You don't want to make them feel like that's the...
Wouldn't be a favor anyway. If the guy said, this is how we get new people.
Now, hold on. Let me just, please. Look, I'm a guy who... one advantage I have over you guys, I go do... Not over, but I go do other radio shows. It's part of my job.
I know what you're going to say.
And you don't necessarily have to get a party thrown for you when you walk in the room. But when you hear the guys bringing you on going, who is... What's the...
Oh, God. Yeah.
It really is a bad feeling to walk into. So...
Yeah.
Let's make clear to Chris, who may or may not be
never want
listening.
your guests to know that it's a favor?
Not even that, but it's...
You know what's sad? The guy's got 1.3 million followers on Twitter.
We heard he was a funny guy. Obviously, they asked us if we're interested. I said yes.
I can't wait to
heard
tell
he's
him he's on the show because of a favor.
Oh, God.
Well, if he's a funny guy, he'll be able to handle that.
But we shouldn't...
Let's see how he handles that.
Let's just say there's other things going on that may not be as pleasant, which have nothing to do with Chris at all.
Yeah.
Because I've heard he was a funny dude, and that's why I said yes. I just don't know him.
Yeah, that's the guy right there.
I actually...
I've seen him plenty of times on TV.
He does a very good job with his stuff.
I watch them geeky shows.
You just don't want somebody to walk in under the feeling of, so we got this favor, because...
Yeah, we're doing a favor. Where are you going to be?
I got to say it now.
What?
I have to.
No.
Oh,
when he walks in.
Oh,
okay.
Yes, I have to.
Well, let's talk to him for a minute. Let him understand that
I'm not going to beat him up. I'm just going to say, I'll be honest with you. You're here because of a favor.
Yeah, even under the guise of honesty, somebody walking into a radio show.
What's wrong with that?
It doesn't make you feel good.
Let's feel him out a little first.
I've walked in as a comedian to club. With
Have
the
you
club.
even seen Web Soup?
No, but I don't watch anything,
yeah,
dude.
I've seen that.
Okay, so we
I've
at least
seen
have
it.
seen Web Soup.
Yeah.
I've walked in where the improvs have these things with radio shows. And again, this is not in major markets. It's in some of the smaller markets where some of the smaller shows they go, look, we need you to bring the comedian every week. So I know that I'm just there on the improv's dime. The club, the radio show doesn't care about me.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel good.
It doesn't.
They don't say it, though.
We're going to care about him.
I'm not saying you're not. I'm just telling you as a guy walking into a radio show.
I think he's going to fit in, actually. He's got a little edge to him.
Yeah.
He's a funny guy.
That's it. You never know with people. They come in and
I mean,
all of
who
a
else
sudden
are we
got
gonna have on today?
A new guy that can hang out with the show.
It's not like they're booking for the show where we have choices.
Oh, God. Leave this poor guy alone.
I'm sure Chris is a good guy. My
He's
issue
a comedian. He can deal with this shit.
is with Joel...
Mikhail.
Not even Mikhail. It might be his reps. Because Joel's a good guy. It might be his reps. But I'm so fucking tired.
You know what? We might have fucking passed on Joel once, too, though, you know.
So what?
Because he started doing our show, and then maybe... I'm not sure if we were busy or whatever, but then we passed one time when he was in town. And then it's gotten weird since then. And we like Joel on our show.
Dude, it's like... There are times where somebody's in town... and you have a show booked where you're like, oh, hey, look, he's a good guy, but we got the XXX happening. It's like, there's nothing personal with that.
Not personal, it's business.
Well, let's get our Joe McHale relationship back together.
I have no
issues with
care
him.
Either way, to be honest with you.
Oh, look at that.
I'm the asshole that was standing out in Vegas.
Yeah, but that's not...
I would if I didn't like him.
But that's not going to get him on the show. That's
I don't
not
care.
nice.
I don't care about any of that shit. I'm the dumb motherfucker that was standing out there.
It doesn't feel good to hear this stuff.
You look like an idiot, Jim.
I would say this to Joel. I'm not mad at him. It's his rep. It's like I'm the asshole that was out there expected to sit there with a recorder.
But what's the difference between saying that and me saying that we have Chris Hardwick on because it's a favor?
Because it's totally different.
It's a completely different
it's
thing.
Totally different.
Why?
Because a favor booking implies that we wouldn't have him otherwise, which is not necessarily true.
I don't even know if this was
At all.
a favor. It sounds like a good fit for the show. This Chris Hardwick,
and I know I know him, and I know. I'm saying I don't, but I know I do. I just don't. I wonder if we did a festival together or
Are
something.
you gonna feel bad when he comes in and goes, "Hey Jim, good to see you again"?
No, because I have a bad memory. Not at all.
No,
not at all.
No.
No, but I know I've heard he's funny.
Yeah.
And I would say if I did, I'm
a lot of our fans seem to like Chris, too.
Okay,
so
good.
We're looking forward to having him in, I don't know, in about 15 minutes or so, okay?
Very cool.
All right. And other things. We got a highway comic we got to get into after the break.
What?
A highway comic. He sells.
What the fuck is that?
He sells jokes to make people feel a little better about their day.
Wait, what do you mean he sells jokes?
Yeah.
Where?
Highway?
Highway, what's that mean?
Why highway?
It's a tease. You'll find out all the answers
my
after
God,
the break.
I don't understand.
Yeah. They're going to be here. They're not going anywhere. Where are they going? It's satellite radio. They're not leaving. Fuck TSL.
But that's
suckers.
That's how a tease works. All those questions will be answered. What highway? What kind of jokes?
But I don't. But how can I?
He's selling jokes. How much is he selling jokes for?
Why is he called Highway?
You'll find out.
Jesus. Do you know?
No.
Really?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
That's why I said all that.
Because I was going to say.
And now, this is the Opie and Anthony Show on the Virus, Sirius XM.
What's this?
Wolf Mother. Come on, Jim.
That's good.
You would like Wolf Mother.
I do
Opie
like
and
them.
Anthony. Want to welcome Chris Hardwick to the Opie and Anthony Show.
Yes. Where is he? Yes, I'll get him.
Chris Hardwick to the Opie and Anthony Show. E-Rock taking a sweet time walking him down the hall.
Yeah, it's all right. I felt compelled to take a dozen videos and throw them at Steve when
I saw
when
that,
Steve
all the
walked in
porn.
door, all the porn, and then they were all over the floor. And Jimmy picked them up, but he pulled his pants down, so his whole ass was hanging out right up to the asshole.
Did you see the whole opening and closing? I could feel
and
it.
As he's bending over to pick him up, his asshole is opening and closing. He's just such a tool.
He's a
Jimmy.
degenerate.
A degenerate.
Hey, Chris, how are you, buddy?
Good. How are you guys?
Welcome to the Opie and Anthony Show. You're playing Caroline's starting tonight, right?
I am, yeah, as a matter of fact. P.S. Great job on Louis' show.
Thank you, man.
Jim Norton.
Thank you,
That is
buddy.
a fucking great show, and you're in it. Sorry.
That's exactly what I said would happen. That
What,
he
everyone-
would know you.
Yeah, we know each other.
Well, I met Jim like
wasn't
10
sure
years
you
ago.
knew you, Chris.
I knew. No, I said I don't know where I know him from. And that's like I know we probably did a festival or something together.
He was confused. I go, Chris is going to walk in here and go and say, "Hey, Jim, good to see you again." Something like that.
Yeah.
It's exactly how it played out.
No, I
said it was.
I lived in New York probably like 9 years ago. I was doing a great piece of television called Shipmates, and I was hanging out at the I know, right? And I was hanging out at the Comedy Cellar a lot, and Jim that's where I first met you.
Yeah, Jim.
Jim
Brock.
I'm still there, and he's got fucking 1.3 million Twitter followers.
Yeah. Why don't we start there? How the fuck do you get 1.3 million Twitter followers? Because
what are you offering the Twitter community?
Yeah, because that's what we all want. We all want to hit 1 million.
I don't know. I work in a lot of nerdy fields. And so, like if you look at the early days of Twitter, who got the most followers? It was all nerds, like the guys who started Dig, like people who host tech shows. And so I think just kind of being in that nerdosphere sort of helped that.
Right.
Yeah.
And on Twitter, you're Opie Radio, so they...
right.
What?
So that's...
What?
Yeah.
What happened?
I was surprised it wasn't taken. I was surprised that wasn't taken.
No, it's the Nerdist, I think.
Nerdist.
Just Nerdist.
Yeah, just
no,
Nerdist.
No, the.
No.
Nerdist.
1.3 million followers. Holy
Self-proclaimed
shit.
nerd, I guess, right?
I guess so, yes.
Geek
or
or nerd,
proclaimed
that's
by
different.
people who stuffed me in trash cans in grade school with my chess sets.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
say.
Do you play chess?
I do. Well, I don't. You know, I truthfully I can't play anymore because I played competitively in
Injury?
grade school.
Oh, you're one of those guys?
And so it's hard for me to do it now without like having an aneurysm because I get so intense about it.
Do you beat people really quickly then? Is that why? Is it what you're really saying is everyone else sucks because you've been playing for so long and you can't find a good challenge?
I'm not sure if that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm become one of those obsessive nerds where I'm just like, you touch that piece, you have to move it. Like I'm not fun. I'm not fun to play with. I'm not fun.
Prodigy?
Not fun. I don't know about that, but I was pretty good.
You were pretty damn good.
Who's your favorite chess player of all time? Let's talk chess players.
Oh, shit.
Bobby Fischer.
Yes, me too. Just because of his political views.
Yes,
Because he was a lunatic.
He was a kook. Like he was that classic chess. Because most of these guys play the big computers, and they're Russian, and but Bobby Fischer just had so much personality as just like a
certainly
crackpot. So he was a lot of fun.
Yeah, he was a fucking loon.
Can we start with your T-shirt? Who is that?
Steve Wozniak.
It is.
I am.
Okay, I thought I knew
that's
him.
nerd.
That's a nerd thing.
Co-founder
Geek,
of Apple.
Yeah.
Co-founder of Apple.
Wow.
Actually, geek, not nerd. There is a difference between a geek and a nerd.
Yeah,
more
I think,
geek?
a lot of people will debate this for hours. And
Yes, that's what I hope to do right now.
And some people, to the delight of your audience.
Yeah.
The fuck? They're talking about nerds.
I know.
versus-
Please.
Nerds, geeks. There's there's a lot of crossover, but dweebs. That's where I fucking draw the line.
dweeb, you're not a dweeb.
Not a dweeb fan. Dweebs come from old sperm, as far as I'm concerned.
Dweebs can't help anyone out.
No.
Nerds and geeks can help other people.
They can. Nerds and geeks have the ability to be unnaturally focused about anything.
Yeah, yeah.
And dweebs are just socially awkward.
I see geeks as being some people that are a little more tech savvy, but can have a little more fun than a nerd. Nerds are people you cannot get along with.
Nerds are intense because nerds can nerd out of everything. Sports nerds, like any nerds can nerd out of everything. But I think what we're finding is, like from when I was in grade school, a lot of the classic nerds, I think if we looked back, we would realize that a lot of them had Asperger's. I'm making a joke.
True.
Like a lot of the ones are like, look at those nerds. Like today, they'd be like, he has Asperger's.
They're just like
And,
quoting statistics or something and have no social skills.
It just wasn't a disorder that was
defined,
socially understood back in those days.
He's just a weirdo.
Yeah,
we said he was a weirdo. Asperger's.
He's an odd boy. He's an odd boy.
Yeah, strange. And how'd you wind up getting into some kind of geek shows? If you're a geek guy, it doesn't usually work that way. You usually have to do shit you don't like.
Oh well, I did that for a long time. I've just been working for a long time, so it literally took me like 13 years of working in the business before I was like, why am I not working on nerd stuff? Because before the internet and before the explosion of niche cable channels,
that's true.
You couldn't really there was not really nerd programming even as recently as 10 years ago.
You could talk about soldering together a Radio Shack computer
to just yourself
back in the old days,
and no one else would listen to you. To just yourself and a handful of other sweaty nerds.
I really do. I consider myself quite a geek / nerd, and I do like going through old Popular Mechanics and catalogs and looking at Radio Shack stuff, the old big CB radio base stations they would sell. And,
I still have old Omni magazines from when that was that magazine was around.
It's PC Gamer, old things like that, because it's interesting to see the progression of what happened, and especially when you're playing a game, even like the original Doom when it came out, it's like, it will never get better than this. and then you moved on to like when Half-Life first came out, I was like, holy shit, they finally reached the pinnacle.
Well, now I just tested Alienware makes a 3D gaming computer that's insane.
Really? Wow.
Insane. It's actually good 3D technology.
Really?
Yeah.
God damn for gaming.
But I got my first computer in 1981, and it just didn't do anything.
Commodore or a
no, it was a
Atari?
TRS-80.
You went Tandy.
I did went Tandy.
Nice.
Remember when Radio Shack was awesome and it's so funny that there was a period where Radio Shack was on the forefront of technology, and now like the rest of technology just kind of rolled over it.
Blew right past it. You knew they started having to put radio controlled cars into Radio Shack.
Yeah.
That it was over for Radio Shack.
Well, right now I need a radio that runs on a wet potato or whatever, like that's all Radio Shack is now, and connectors. You can
Wait,
get
are
connectors.
radio cars like the fucking Cousin Oliver of technology?
Yeah.
Like it's just the admission that it's over?
Yeah, it was pretty much done with. It was because you used to walk in Radio Shack, and they had like computers. They had a CB radios, scanners.
Oh, you could build your own radios and stuff,
they
and
had
robots.
kits. Or you could just walk in with a schematics book and pick out resistors and capacitors and transistors.
I still have a lot of
and-
a lot of early computers were built that way.
Yeah, and just get a printed circuit board, etch it yourself. I used to do shit like this. I made a stun gun and hit my girlfriend with it just to see if it worked.
Whoa,
Because I had such
whoa.
lack in my own.
How did you have a girlfriend in that scenario?
Exactly. You're absolutely right.
She would have been a keeper.
She was probably passed out drunk while I was soldering.
There you go. There you go.
Just tap her
Is
with it
soldering
every
a
so often.
euphemism for something, or you mean literally
Yeah, I
soldering?
was giving her the old solder.
Gotcha.
Yeah, dipping a little flux on her
When I
first.
went to sleep last night, my asshole was not welded shut. Are you responsible for this?
Yes.
What did the TRS-80 do? I have to know that. Like,
Oh my God.
Nothing.
It was basically just like a
Typewriter.
yeah, and not even really that, because you couldn't really hook it up to a computer.
No, or
I mean
printer or
to a printer. It was just like one solid unit, and there was the interface was very archaic by computer standards.
All of them ran like BASIC.
Yeah, it ran BASIC, so it was good if you were writing your own stuff, but it was really
Yeah.
kind of where there was a lot of consumer friendly software available.
Yeah. Before all that, though, because I remember getting the Atari 800, and they had nothing for it. And I had a book on basic programming, and they'd have games, and it would take you hours to key in this code.
Fuck, you'd have to enter your own game
Yeah,
code?
your own code, and you'd hit to play it, and it would start, and then it would like syntax error, line 6,300.
Oh, it's so irritating.
Like, I'm supposed to debug this shit. I
You
barely know
left
how
out
to...
like one character, just fucks up the whole code.
You left out one fucking number or one little symbol
You
or
forgot
something,
that,
and
Jimmy?
you were done.
DOS prompt, I remember. That was when we got into computers in high school, and I didn't know much about it, but that's very familiar.
Then I came up with the cassette load, which was great.
Yeah.
You just plugged in, which was basically just a Panasonic cassette player.
Yeah.
And games would come on cassette tapes that would, they're just magnetic tapes.
Again,
that would
Radio
hold the
Shack. You
program.
can get those at Radio Shack.
Yeah. The Shack was rocking.
They were happening.
And it would take so long for a shitty game to load up.
How long?
It would take hours sometimes. It would run in like real time.
This
per
was
tape.
before we had short attention spans, though, so we were like, pretty soon
else
I'm
have we
going to
got to
be
do?
Oh,
in
you were
video
so into it.
game paradise.
Pretty soon I'm going to be the controller of a nuclear power plant that can't melt down. I'm going to have to keep the nuclear rods in the liquid and keep the turbines running, and sometimes something's going to fail. I thought it was the best game ever. I'm like, oh, look at the graphics. It's never going to get better than
See, I was lucky because my dad was a professional bowler, and then when he retired, he opened a bowling center, and he had an arcade. So I didn't have to rely I had all the home gaming systems, but I also had these
The real deal,
these
yeah.
cabinet arcade games in my dad's.
Because nothing was worse than playing Pac-Man or Donkey Kong and then playing the home
The
Atari
8-bit version.
which was like, what? No, this
The
isn't
rip-off
it.
version.
Isn't it?
Right.
Why
It's
is
like-
Pac-Man square?
Yeah, it's like when your mom tries to make a Burger King thing at home, and
Yeah.
you're like, it's just not the same.
It's just like
Just
it.
not the same.
I'll make you an Egg McMuffin. No, you
No,
cannot give me
it's not the
eggs on
same.
an English
Was your
muffin.
dad was he a good professional bowler? I need to know.
Yeah, he's in the Hall of Fame.
Wow, Hardwick.
Really?
Yeah.
What was his first name?
Billy Hardwick.
Not that I know.
Yeah.
pro
Almost
bowlers,
rings a
but
bell, though.
It kind of sounds
He
familiar,
was in
right?
the, my dad. It's funny. My dad was a professional bowler in the '60s when it was kind of a really cool. Like they were actually respected athletes,
Right,
by
yeah.
the rest by other athletes. And
Wide
so-
World of Sports used to show
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And so, so I grew up on the.
When
Pro
did you
Bowlers
break
tour.
your dad's heart and go, Dad, I don't want to be a bowler?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. It worked well for you, but you know what?
Yeah, we had the talk.
Were you forced to bowl your whole life?
No, but I did.
No?
I bowled.
Were you
Any good?
I was good as a kid.
Any perfect games?
No, but I shot 289 when I was 11.
Damn.
It was 10 strikes and then a 10 pin.
Oh, you got screwed.
Still
did.
bugs you, doesn't it?
It really fucking does. Yes, it does.
The hand roll gave it away. The hand roll gave it away.
Because my parents split up when I was 13, and we moved away from the bowling center, and I didn't really, as a teenager, I'm like...
Oh, is that how your mom got back at your dad? I'm moving him away from the bowling center.
Well, one of a variety of ways. But
Damn, you never had the chance, really. To...
and I never really had the chance, and now
So
I feel
close.
like I'm not going to bowl a perfect
When was the
game
last time
now.
you bowled?
I bowled once this year. I mean, I don't.
If you bowled today, what do you think you could roll?
I'd probably average 190. 180, 190. There's my dad. Yeah, that's my dad. This is my dad did this. This is a Miller High Life beer commercial he shot in 1969.
Oh wow!
Holy shit!
There he is. My dad was 29 there.
Wow.
Yeah.
In the first 3 games he ever bowled, Billy scored 79, 87, and 69.
This is are people?
So he
Looks like
a lot. Day after.
Yeah, we'll fill in the blanks in a second.
We'll fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
Black and white commercial. He's in a bowling center. It's closed down. He's bowling. A bartender's pouring him a beer. He's about to leave a split. All right, that's a 6-7. And he picks it up. There it goes. Bam!
Wow.
Nice.
Damn.
Right? Now,
that guy.
A couple great things about this commercial. Number one, after he did this commercial, they wouldn't let active athletes do beer commercials anymore because for some reason they felt it left a bad example on the kids. Hey, you want to be a champion? Drink.
Drink.
The other thing was my dad had lines in that commercial, but after so many takes of chugging the beer, he got fucking hammered. And they were like, well, no lines for you. So,
and then I saw a couple of people that were familiar from other commercials of the era.
Probably so.
In the background, yeah. Wow, that's cool. He had that nice wicked curve in there.
A little bit of a hook. Yeah.
I like that.
Does he still bowl?
Damn.
Nah. My dad's funny. He won't he hasn't picked up a ball in like 25 years.
Oh, wow, really?
He has this philosophy where he goes, the longer I don't bowl, the better I was. Like, people say. So
That's pretty good. There's logic in that. Yeah.
He's 69. He's never going to be as good as he was.
He just
knows
got sick of
so
bowling.
he's like, fuck it.
He's had it.
Yeah.
Can't you just go for fun though, like with the?
No, it's not fun
It's
for him.
not fun for him.
I guess not.
Same reason I can't play chess anymore, Jim.
Yeah,
Same reason I can't play
it's
chess
just too
anymore.
much stress.
I never played tournament chess. I never did. I always
is-
played for fun, but never tournament chess.
It is a whole different kind of, nerd bullies are hilarious because like a jock bully will just hit you in the throat and then that's it. But nerd bullies fuck with your head. There were all these kids and you'd sit down and they'd go, are you feeling okay? And then you'd go, I'm fine. And then,
am I feeling okay?
And then they just get in your head. Like it's a whole psychological bullying that's nerds.
Like when Fisher and Spassky played and he fucking forfeited the first game. You know what a fucking whammy that is on the world champion when this fucking psycho from Brooklyn doesn't even show up? I think he was from Brooklyn, right?
But
Wow.
Fisher?
Yeah.
I can't remember where he was
He's
from.
in New York, right? No,
He was in New York.
Yeah. I think Brooklyn.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
And a guy like, like a Russian guy like Boris Spassky, they can't wrap their brain around like, why would you not show up?
Yeah,
How
he wants
decadent.
He wants fucking fresh squeezed orange juice. Just an asshole Jew hater who hated the Soviets.
He just wheels his balls in on a cart separately. Like, here we go. It's gonna happen.
One thing I'm obsessed with Bobby Fischer. There's an interview he did, and I don't know. I want the rest of this interview so badly. It's a 1.5-minute interview on YouTube where he's sitting in a park, and he's probably 25, and he's before the championship, and he's talking about how Spassky is scared of him. And he's so fucking arrogant.
Really?
And I want the rest of this interview more than I've ever wanted an interview before, and I can't find it anywhere.
Isn't it a bummer when the internet lets you down that way? And you're like,
Dude.
are you fucking kidding me, internet?
Got everything.
Everything. And I can't find
Except
that one thing.
Yeah, it's got to be from the late 60s or early 70s.
Any type of porno.
He was kind of a Dennis Rodman before Rodman.
And in chess, that's the oddest thing to have somebody that like had that kind of personality. In fucking, because face it, come on, it's chess.
Well, yeah, because chess is not a very outgoing external kind of a game. You're just in your head all the time. So most chess players, you can't really talk to them.
No, you don't talk smack either. Or
no,
things
you
like
don't
that.
talk. You just don't talk. Period.
Just sit there.
Any kind of human interaction that's outside the board is very uncomfortable and sweaty.
Can you see the board in your head? I can't do that. I cannot. You can do that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have no ability to envision a board. I can see it now, and I can see the pawn moving. That's it. I'm done.
I can't see ahead more than the move I'm making, which is probably wrong.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's a problem?
I can't look at like, all right, I'll do this, he'll do this, I'll do what? That's beyond the realm of any of my thinking. No way.
They train you to sort of, when you're doing tournament chess, to This is all hilarious talk, by the way. I'm sure Caroline's going to sell right out after Chess Talk.
Yes, Chess Talk with Chris Hardwick.
Probably all these homeless chess players.
Yeah, they're just going to show up. This is fantastic. He does chess humor. Yeah, fantastic.
Finally, a comedian for me,
Yeah.
a homeless chess guy.
And then she goes, "Castle Kingside." Two Jews walk into a rook.
Holy shit.
Knights take queen. Oh, that's what I said.
Two Jews walk into a bar. Fisher sets the entrance on fire. Did he lose his fucking mind?
Yeah.
Holy mackerel.
Not a lot of endorsement opportunities after that.
No. I don't know if there are really a lot of chess endorsement opportunities anyway.
true.
I think most of the professional chess players are Russian and they probably work for the state and they live in a big house.
You know what he called Kasparov? Weinstein the Jew. That's what he called fucking Garry Kasparov. Who I think his mother's name was Weinstein, and he would not call him that Russian name. He referred to him as Weinstein the Jew and said he cheated. That's how he won.
What a kook.
Yeah.
What also makes that movie, Searching for Bobby Fischer, so funny because it's such a charming movie, and it portrayed Bobby Fischer as this like misunderstood outcast. He was really pretty crazy.
And boy, did Fisher not like that movie. He goes, and they fucking took my name, and I didn't get a fucking dime from that movie. Oh, he's the greatest. He never saw it, of course. He'd shit in Josh Waitskin's face. He hated everything. I wish he was here. I really do. Just in this room, yelling at us.
I love just that climactic scene in that movie when right when the other kid, he offers him a draw. He's like, "I'm going to give you a draw," and the kid's like, "No, I'm not going to take a draw," and the kid goes, "You already lost. You just don't know it yet."
Yeah, great. That lisp.
This is great.
Whose dick stayed soft after hearing that?
Wait, was Lawrence Fishburne in that movie?
Yeah, he played a homeless
that's right.
guy.
He was he was the park chess player because we were just talking about his daughters.
Oh,
Did you see the video yet?
No.
Love to. Is it good?
Oh yeah, it's good.
Let's see it.
Oh yeah,
She probably looks like him in Apocalypse
Danny,
Now.
that's what you were watching earlier, right?
That guy puts a thing in her thing, and it's
Chris
Chris
Hardwick. This is a nice video right here.
Ooh, this is
Montana Fishburne.
Oh my God, yeah.
Little porno.
Nice
She's got some
I
nice.
can't
Well, there's
believe
something
the
going on.
daughter
What
of
is that?
the guy who was on Pee-wee's Playhouse.
I know. Cowboy Curtis. She's got-
Oh my!
Let me see her vagina.
She's got nice feeders.
She has a
Oh,
great fucking
She's getting
vagina.
finger banged.
She has a great vagina.
Dude, look at the clit. She has a big clit, big meaty clit. She's sexy.
Looks like a wallet.
And now.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
She's fucking great.
Wow.
Servicing a white gentleman.
that is
Morpheus.
Dude, she
Why did I take the blue pill?
He wants to be
Should've
attacking
taken
the
the red
Matrix
pill.
where this isn't happening.
she looks like him in the face too.
She really does.
Well,
I'm
not sure that's really what you.
It's not a good thing.
really.
You don't
Yeah.
want that.
Yeah, I'd be fucking her. I just keep thinking of her fucking water skiing in Vietnam to fucking satisfaction.
I tell you what, I love Morpheus, but I wish he had a pussy. Oh, it's not really.
Hey, look.
She's sexy though, man. She has a nice big vag.
She's nice, right?
Yeah.
Right on.
Fucking nice.
You like that so much.
I love a big clit like that. She has a big vag. She's hot. For real.
So chess.
Back
Yeah.
to chess.
Yeah.
We got a guy that met. I think we have a guy that met Bobby Fischer on the line here.
Are you serious?
cool.
Let's go to Princeton. Alan,
Hey, boys. Good morning.
Hello?
say hi to Chris.
Hey, Chris. What's going on, brother?
Hey man, how are you? So, do you meet Bobby Fischer?
I did. I actually, when I first came out of college, I was working in a hotel in Philadelphia, and I'm checking him out. Which, of course, he had this black dyed hair, and he says, could you give this $2 to that young Negroid boy over there?
Negroid.
As my jaw went down, I said, "Excuse me?" He's like, "The Negroid." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll give it to the Negroid." So,
What year is this?
that was '99.
Wow, that's when he was still in fucking, he could not be He'd already come out of hiding and he played Spassky again, I think in 92 in Yugoslavia.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
What, Jimmy?
Wait a minute. Now. 99?
Yeah.
In the U.S.?
United States.
Bobby Fischer, in 92, I believe, played Spassky, and he ripped up the State Department order to fucking not play him, and he spit on it on the news in front of the press. I don't believe he was in the U.S. in 99. He was in the Philippines or in hiding.
I believe you're wrong.
well,
Chess fight, chess fight,
No,
chess fight.
he actually would have been arrested if he was in the U.S.
Yeah.
Yes, because
Maybe it's the dyed hair.
I think his passport was no
yeah.
good. But the news around Bobby Fischer being in the United States in '99 would have been massive because nobody knew where he went back into hiding, like they talked about in fucking
Right.
Searching for Bobby Fischer.
Right.
Came out, he played Spassky, won $3 million, and left.
You sure it was 99, Alan?
Google it. Yeah, I was right out of college.
The next day, as a matter of fact, Polanski gave him $3 to give to a chink.
Check. That's funny. That's funny.
Alan, what hotel was it?
This was it was in Rittenhouse Square. If you guys
Philly.
know Philly.
Yeah.
It was a Sheraton, Rittenhouse Square.
I think you're making where was the media? Where was everybody around him?
There was nothing. I mean, he had a handler. He had some lady with him that was probably in her 40s, and I didn't really. I mean, geez, that was 10, 11 years ago. So I mean,
How did you know it was Bobby Fischer?
Yeah.
He signed Bobby Fischer. He put it in his own name.
No. I think you're making an error, or it was another Bob Fischer?
Jimmy's saying no way.
And unless, if he got into the United States, how was he not arrested? Because he was detained in Japan, I believe, on a violation that he violated the State Department order, and fucking, there was an embargo against Yugoslavia, and he went and played anyway.
Well, I'll describe him. He had black hair. He was about 6'8", 350 pounds, and he was Hispanic, right?
That's him.
There you go.
That's him.
All right, Alan, thank you.
That's a fucking horrible
Thanks,
story.
man.
You didn't see Fisher in '99 in Philly. Yeah, he was a fucking he was a utility infielder for the Phillies.
That would have been a big deal.
The Opie and Anthony Show. We get angrier about fake Bobby Fischer sightings in any radio program. That's
Yes.
fantastic.
We do get angry about the dumbest things on this
That's
show.
fine, though. Listen,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
good. That's smart. That's
Why not?
good.
I don't get angry that he made a mistake, but he was adamant about it. It was him. Wasn't him.
He still thinks it's him.
Let him think that it wasn't.
All right.
It wasn't.
Chris, you did some radio, huh?
The use of Negroid might have given it away. Yes, I did.
K-Rock in L.A.?
In L.A., yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
What kind of radio?
I did the overnight show for by show, I mean I was just there from midnight to 5.
Music guy?
Yeah. There was no we had Loveline, but that was the only talkie show on K-Rock.
Right.
So it was just the same. It was kind of like, it was right when grunge got super popular and then was just kind of sliding back down into the, I left when it started turning into the Limp Bizkit rape rock, which was that period that I call unnaturally, unmotivatedly aggressive.
That's when we were still playing music on our show. So
Yeah.
you just nailed it. You nailed it.
I was there when you would see Soundgarden and early Beck and the heavy rotation, it was that period of time.
Probably the same time we were at AF.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
95
Mid-90s.
95 to
95 to 98.
Yeah, 95 to 98. That's
Right in the middle of it.
Yep.
So you played the butt trumpets.
Oh yeah.
A great time.
Well, the butt trumpet we could never really play because you'd have to bleep that band Butt Trumpet.
Yeah.
Where it's like hell damn shit fuck hell damn shit shit for brain asshole, like every other word.
Oh, I think we had the edited version. I remember that.
Yeah.
The worst thing that I ever tried to play was something by the Frogs, which was a fantastic weird band.
Yeah.
Little cursing going on.
A lot of cursing.
Those were always, we always got the edited version or something. I was listening to Lightning Crashes the other day. It popped on Lithium, and it's like, God, remember Dave Douglas cut the whole fucking beginning of that song off because he didn't like the placenta falls to the floor line?
Yeah.
It's like you cut the whole front of the song off
just for
and
the
started
placenta.
on the next line. It's like, why would you do something like that?
Boy, Live was a great fucking band.
They were huge.
I loved
then.
that band.
They were huge.
When I worked at MTV, they just had kind of popped, and I interviewed them for the Video Music Awards in '95.
Damn.
And they were epic.
Yeah, you did a lot for MTV. Singled Out with Jenny McCarthy.
That's right.
That's right. You don't regret that, do you?
No, not at all.
Okay.
It's funny because
That was a big hit for you.
I've noticed that there has been a fundamental shift in my career because people have stopped asking me if I had sex with Jenny McCarthy, and now it's turned into Olivia Munn.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
That must mean I've been around for a long time based on
Sure.
who they've asked me if I've slept
Is
with.
Olivia cool?
Munn.
She's great. Yeah, she's great.
Yep.
Have you ever had her on? You've never had her on the show.
No, I think we
She's-
should.
She's cool. You'd like her.
So how was Ozzy when you interviewed him?
He was great.
We love Ozzy.
Yeah, Ozzy is funny, man.
I didn't know what to expect, and I wasn't sure. I mean, because when
Funny
you
guy,
have
man.
people in, you don't know if they're going to talk.
Right.
Yeah.
And he had wonderful stories, and he was engaging and
Yeah.
sweet, and very grateful to A, be alive, and then B, have a career. And
still be around,
he's,
yep.
you know, just listening to him talk about how he was influenced by the Beatles and just like the kind of music that he wanted to do when he was growing up. I loved him.
Yeah,
How was he influenced by the Beatles? That's so confusing.
All those British guys worship him, Lemmy. They all worship the Beatles, man. All the Sabbath, all Sabbath.
It all started with the Beatles.
Yep.
50 years ago today, by the way.
What happened?
Beatles.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Swear.
Things get a little ugly here, Chris.
Oh, guys, come on. Take it down a notch. It's
Beatles
okay.
fight.
It's okay.
Beatles fight. Yeah, 50 years ago. And it was kind of sad. They were, I was listening to, I think it was 1010 Wins or 88, one of those fucking New York news stations. And they were talking to some kids, you know, the kids these days, and asking them to name all the Beatles. Nope.
They can't do it, finally?
No. Finally, they can't do it.
Well,
Can they name any of them?
time.
Yeah, they go like Paul and John, and then they kind of lose it. And some
George
of them
is where
have
they'd all
Ringo.
fall
George,
off.
they all just fucking...
Ringo's going to outlive them all.
Oh, yeah.
Ringo's going to outlive them all.
Proving there's no God.
Complete ironic twist of the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah. Ringo will go on. Ringo will continue.
I often wonder, like, what Lennon would be like now.
Oof.
Like, if he would be kind of sad, or if he'd be like a cool cult hero.
Would he be like the cool old guy? Because, you know who's kind of still cool is, like, Neil Young even. And I know you saw Neil Young, and he was an asshole playing his new shit. And
I'm a huge
it's too
Neil Young
cool for
fan
the
no matter
room
what.
guy. But you could, like, sit there, and he could still rock a room with some of his old shit.
He's got his dignity.
Whatever. Yeah.
Van Morrison has his dignity.
Yeah.
He's been around for fucking ever. Not many old rockers, though. They all look kind of
But if you
sad.
you know,
in the
you just
end.
kind of like, where would John Lennon be? Where
If he would just get really
Hendrix
bitter,
be,
because he was kind of a... John Lennon seems like, with all of his Imagine blah, 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 he seems like he was kind of a dick. I mean, when they ask him if Ringo Starr is the greatest drummer in the world, and he says, he's not even the greatest drummer in the Beatles. Like, that's really shitty.
That's just a dick move.
Yeah, that's a dick move.
Who said that?
John Lennon.
That's fucking
It was also 44 years ago that he did the Jesus thing.
Really?
Lennon, yeah.
Bigger than Jesus?
Bigger than
The Beatles
Jesus.
are bigger than Jesus.
That was 44 years ago today.
Wow.
By the way, I got a
ago.
text from Dr. Steve.
What does he want?
He all said that Google says Bobby Fischer was in Hungary for at least part of 1999.
For at least part.
Yeah,
So he could
Hungary.
be in the United States and Philly.
He wasn't, though.
Jimmy will not let this go.
No, I know for a fact he wasn't.
Where is he buried? Is he buried anywhere?
In Reykjavik, Iceland.
He's buried in Reykjavik?
That's where they finally gave him citizenship, yeah.
Wow.
When Japan fucking didn't know what to do with him.
Oh, he's dead?
Yeah, he died
yeah,
a couple years ago. He was 66 when he died. It's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he wouldn't go to the doctor because he's a brilliant, interesting guy.
Yeah, but they find like a bishop up his ass or something. He wouldn't go to the doctor because he was afraid of the x-rays from all the chess pieces he put up his hiney over the years.
You know, you got to keep it fresh. You got to keep the game fresh. And if that means sitting on a couple pieces.
You do what you got to do.
If you look closely, the king didn't have a cross on the top; it was a fist.
Dude, we haven't even talked about Web Soup.
Oh, okay.
I've only seen it a few times, in all honesty, but I like it.
You got a lot of hooks in the water, my friend.
I don't know.
a few hooks in the
Where do you
water.
find Web Soup?
It's on the G4 network.
It is.
And occasionally they run it on E.
I think my Time Warner cable puts G4 in a weird area because I don't come across it.
Like platform 9 3/4. It's like in between two channels.
But where though? You have
It's
Time
high.
Warner?
You know what? It's high. I'm sure whatever it is, it's really high. You just
It's
got to
up there.
keep. You just got to keep hitting up on your channel
Until you find it.
until the oxygen gets thin. You're like, what the fuck's
Yeah.
going on?
What
And then
am I-
you're in like.
See, I don't know what. Oh my God! What?
Tube, you belong in the audience at the Gong Show. Leslie
What?
Gold, a.k.a. The Radio Chick, will be one of the 3 judging 14...
What is this?
I don't know.
We know
Forget
Leslie.
it.
She's
Forget
some
it.
kind of gong show.
Just leave her alone.
She's doing the
She's
gong.
suffering
Just
enough.
leave her alone.
She's suffering enough. Leave her alone.
Come on.
There was a guy wearing
leave her
an
alone.
old guy in a dress who was jamming his fist into a raw chicken.
Yeah.
So they have to let Germans do something.
It's a German comedy.
Didn't the Gong Show kind of turn into American Idol and America's Got Talent and stuff like that? It's not quite relevant anymore to do kind of a Gong Show.
Well, is this a
thing.
local Gong Show thing?
I don't
Ray
know.
Allen. Ray Allen's a buddy of mine. He's a comedian. Jesus, he's got hair like James Woods now. Fucking- wow. Should be fucking Sharon Stone in the ass in Beverly Hills. Good boy. Oh, black guy doing a little dance with no shirt. That's good. Welcome to 1961.
It's shuck
And
and
a few
jive.
others. But don't worry.
I do
the
enjoy a good
outrageous-
Running Man. You just don't get to see it anymore.
No.
But now you could at the Gong Show Live.
Chris Hardwick's going to do well at Caroline's.
Yeah, 212-757-4100. What are you there, tonight or tomorrow?
Tonight through
tonight's
Sunday.
Thursday.
Through Sunday, yeah.
Tonight, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Web Soup.
Yes, Web Soup G4. Well, it's just basically it's produced by the Soup people, so it was we ripped it off. We ripped
So
off their
it's
format.
just a rip-off
It
of
is,
it.
but it's an authorized rip-off, and we're just making fun of web videos.
How about this? What are you digging on the web lately? Or making fun of?
Well, we're on hiatus right now, but I mean, where do you even start? Did you guys ever see Cake Farts?
Yeah, we love
Yes.
Cake Farts.
Okay.
yeah.
We
All
did
right.
Cake Farts
Great
live
one.
on the show.
Did you really?
We were very proud of ourselves.
I am very
that
proud
day.
of you.
We were
Did
so
you bring that
inspired.
girl in?
No, we did. There are Cake Fart women all over.
We got
the
Yes.
some other hose
Oh, yeah.
bag.
Yeah.
Exactly. All you need is a fucking Duncan Hine mixer and an asshole
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
and a bad childhood.
I don't know why I
Someone
said
asked for me and a Duncan Hines.
They're not ninjas or Shaolin monks. I don't know why I thought that
Where did you find a girl? Well, I don't know. Just
the ninja. Wait a minute! It's like before you can even blink, the cake's been farted on. Like, they're that good.
You were laughing at me, by the way. G4 in New York City.
Yeah.
Channel 692.
Yeah, I told you
That's
it's
not easy to get
no,
to, Chris.
it's not.
It's
you
right
need a
before
fucking
the-
Sherpa
If I
to
was
get
for
that
the
high up in
music
your cable
channels
lineup. It's right before the Latino music. It's right before like you get the sounds of Trinidad Tobago. Like it's that high up.
But every time I get there, I like what I see on the damn thing. So I'm
G4
writing
is
it
a good,
down.
G4 is a
I'm writing
good,
it down.
Attack of the Show. I work on Attack of the Show
Yeah, I
too,
like
which is
Attack of
a,
the
it's
Show.
a phenomenally fun nerd centric show.
My only complaint about G4 is that sometimes they play movies, and I've never seen worse quality it's they play standard definition movies on the HD channel, but they would look better on standard definition. Like they're stretched out 4 different ways and like zoomed in, and it's like pixelated. Like you could swear that whoever's programming G4 downloaded that off a torrent site.
That's just extra technology. You're saying.
I think I've watched RoboCop 2 on like 12 pixels on G4.
Bigger pixels mean more entertainment. There you go. You never want to see an 8-bit RoboCop?
Why strain your eyes? So many pixels.
Yeah, come on. Pixels are overrated. I just like a couple blocks of color, and then I'm good.
25, 30 feet away, you can almost see faces.
Yeah, exactly. It's fine.
Cross your eyes a certain way, it's like it's coming right out now.
Yeah.
A
It's
magic
like
eye picture.
But besides that, G4 is just terrific. It's just terrific.
it's a fun nerd channel. I like working
geeky,
there.
nerdy channel.
It reminds me a lot of working at MTV like years ago because everyone's all young and they'll let you do whatever you want and
hip and people just skateboarding down the halls, man.
yeah, like if you want to shoot a sketch and you're like, we need a donkey and a wizard hat, they'll fucking get you a donkey and a
you
wizard
got
hat.
it.
Like
You know
there's
what that
no
means? You have no lawyers.
there's no
Yeah, must not
Enjoy
be
that, sir.
You haven't spent money on lawyers yet.
Yeah,
enjoy it for now.
They'll bring the lawyers in, and you're not going to be doing anything with donkeys.
It'll get corporatized at some point, and then it's like, no donkeys. That's like you can't have that. Like then the rules will
Nah.
set in.
They don't realize how
everything.
easy this really is.
You know, those early MTV days, like the spring breaks and the beach houses, like the beach house especially, they were never, I always thought before, like, oh, it's going to be crazy. And you'd go, and it was just like 5 extras they would cram into the corner of a pool and just shoot it really tight. Be like, all right, splash around. All right, cut. Everyone fucking calm down. And then that was it. It was a very sedate environment.
Wild day here at the beach house. It's a bit, and then 5 people.
Like maybe
hanging
the
out.
first year there was a beach house. You know, they had the crazy jumping off the roof into the pool parties,
Right.
and then after that it got all corporate.
Someone hurt themselves. Disclaimers had to be signed.
Yep, that's it. And then it was over.
I did Jim Brewer's Beach House. He had the Jim Brewer
Yes,
show.
I remember that.
They had comedians. You'd perform on the porch. There'd be a bunch of people just sitting there watching. It wasn't as bad as it sounds.
Yeah.
But it was
It was pretty bad.
It was rough because you're outdoors on a beach on a porch. But I mean, because Brewer ran a good show, so
Yeah.
it was okay.
Once the word indemnify comes into anywhere, it doesn't
Included
matter
but not
what you're
limited
doing.
to.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
the fun's over.
Yeah, it's no more fun left.
Lawyers will eat up fun and just shit out this black tar where fun used to be. It's no longer.
Hate it. Indemnification.
It's funny that you did that. It's great that you did that show. It's I love that some people just think like, oh, comedy, you could just stick that anywhere. And you're like, well, there's a certain, you kind of need to be in a certain setting,
Yeah,
to kind of make it work.
A back patio of a beach house.
It almost looks like it's a hoax.
Oh, the most
right?
famous little girl in the world
It
now.
looks like it's.
So you know about her? That's the
Yeah,
reason
yeah.
I popped it on. This girl goes on America's Got Talent. She's 10 years old, and she sings like an opera star.
She's 11.
I say
Now,
it's
when they
fake.
say the next Susan Boyle, they're saying they think she's going to grow up to look like Colm Meaney.
That's terrible. They shouldn't. She's going to be horrified. The next Susan Boyle. No.
And this little girl's adorable, too.
She's cute as a button.
Like, I'm surprised they didn't just walk out with a giant check from the president of Hollywood for $1 billion.
No kidding.
If Susan Boyle was the original Terminator, this girl's like the T-1000.
Yeah.
Trimmer and...
The
Yeah,
next
it's-
Dakota Fanning right there.
She's
Because
the
Dakota's
next-
too old and slutty now.
Wow.
She is.
Is she?
Oh,
yeah.
my God. You haven't
When was
seen the
last time
latest
you saw her?
pictures?
No.
What are you
What's wrong with
watching?
you, Chris?
Well-
What, are you watching old fucking movies?
I
of her?
know, like,
Jesus.
it seems like I might be at home Googling Dakota Fanning.
Let me tell you what happens when you Google Dakota Fanning.
It's being Googled as we speak.
Look, right there, first picture.
Forbidden.
Of course it's
Forbidden.
forbidden. Of course it's forbidden.
Forbidden
All right,
zone.
look, that picture's a little old, not old
I
enough.
mean,
Nah,
it's not,
you got to go a little further.
We're reaching a little further back into
Yeah,
the...
that was a little old, that picture. Don't make me look bad.
No, you
All
want...
right, see, she's getting a little... well,
She's
what are you
got it
gonna
classy.
What are you doing? These are the ones you really get into, Ant.
What?
Why are you changing your tune? Because Chris
Forbidden.
Hardwick is in here.
do? Not changing any tune.
Yeah.
I'll whistle my tune.
I don't see any
song to Nambla.
Dakota Fanning bikini.
Yes.
Oh, well, what is this?
Oh,
it's a bad Photoshop.
Yeah, it's Photoshop.
All right.
Oh, that's the cheerleader one.
It's bad Photoshop. All right.
No, that's a real one, I think. All right, look, she, kind of a little more
she's
ripening
maturing.
to do. It happens by the day at that age, though.
Older guys talking about kids.
All right, Danny, that picture's really bad.
She looks like a Cabbage Patch doll in that picture.
Are you disturbed? You can run away if you need to.
Come on, she's getting
I don't
there.
blame
Yes,
you.
I have a disturbing erection, okay? Is that what you want to hear?
Let's all calm down. She's getting there. She's well on her way. Did you see the movie where she's the hound dog?
Oh, no.
Ooh, it's a little disturbing.
Brutal?
Yeah. Everything except the rape scene. That's fine.
Oh, my.
Well.
Some early morning fare. Early morning.
See, Chris wants to continue being
that's fine right
successful
there.
in Hollywood. He can't handle this.
That's very good.
It's
right
a little
there,
too rough
right?
for you.
Yeah, look,
She's a very attractive, classy young lady.
she's walking around looking good.
I'm more a Selena Gomez fan myself. Chris, you?
If we're looking into, pedophilia, Selena Gomez.
Any conversation that starts that way.
What's your-
I mean, if that's what we're really talking about here.
What's your favorite tween? Come on, let's get it. See, that's my favorite tween, Selena Gomez.
How old is she?
I mean,
Actually, she's
She's
just turned
18 now,
18.
yeah.
All right.
she just looks like
So
a
she's not a
tyke to me.
queen.
It's just weird. I mean, I couldn't. Yeah.
What are you into? Betty White, you freak?
Yeah, exactly.
I just, at Comic-Con, I took a picture with Sigourney Weaver. Like, that's some business I could get into.
Well, anyone,
Yeah.
you got to fuck Ripley.
Yeah, I
just
took-
on principle.
If you go to my website, Nerdist. There we go.
That's a smooth plug right there.
And then accidental plug. Scroll down. Scrolling. There's a thing on the Doctor Who. There's a movie review. The Max Headroom. There we go. Sigourney Weaver.
Damn.
Oh,
Nice.
She's got a nice little smile.
She's a
going
tall
for
drink
you
of
there.
water, too.
She is. Yeah.
Because I'm not
Look at
super
that.
short, but she's taller than I am.
Fucking Ripley, though.
Yeah. The way I
like
That
it.
rules.
She's kind of fun to take a picture with,
Oh,
we both.
Jimmy's got one too. Jimmy's got one.
Is this a Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she's wearing the same shirt. It was the same
That's
day.
why I showed you, yeah.
Same day.
That
Same
is
day.
fantastic, Jim Norton.
Oh, man. You were at the Comic-Con doing the Mythbusters.
I did the
panel?
Mythbusters panel.
Now,
And
why would they have you do that?
I'm
Just curious.
friends with Adam Savage.
Oh, you are?
And actually, I'm friends with Grant and Carrie and Tori and Jamie. I hadn't really met much until that panel.
Yeah.
But so I did that panel. I did a couple comedy shows down there, and
Did you meet Adam through the show, or did you know him like as a kid?
I met Adam through my old roommate is a guy named Will Wheaton.
Oh yeah, of
and
course.
Will does
Yeah.
the live show with Adam Savage called Wootstock, and these guys called Paul and Storm and Jonathan Colton, and so I met Adam through that.
How
and we
come
became
everyone
pals.
knows Will Wheaton?
Who is he?
Because he's someone that a lot of people grew up with knowing, then Will's a kind of nerd that has been on the forefront of, like, he was blogging like 9 years ago before anyone knew what a blog was, and he's a very famous lovable geek.
Like, I think Laszlo knows Will Wheaton.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just someone that you know from Star Trek.
Yeah, we know of.
He's a good guy. Stand by me.
Yeah, of course.
Who was he in that?
He was the kid. He was the main kid. He was the main kid.
I don't remember.
There was the kid that was the flashback. The Richard Dreyfuss was. It was young Richard Dreyfuss basically. He was the main kid.
Richard Dreyfuss and fucking
there he is.
Stand By Me.
Yeah, he was. Well, the Stand By Me was all a flashback. It was all
Right. Oh, was Dreyfuss the adult now?
Yeah,
I
he was the
okay.
present day. He was the.
Yeah, that's him.
Holy shit! I didn't know that until just now.
There he is.
Will Wheaton.
Young Will Wheaton with a gun.
You want to take a break and continue?
I have to whiz, yeah.
You got to make some.
I don't have to be anywhere until tonight.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Exactly.
We're having a good time
that?
with Chris. A lot of people want to ask you geek questions. and
Caroline's,
shit.
New York.
Is that
brother.
hack?
No, you can
Kinda
ask me
hacky?
whatever geek
If you
question
got
want.
something for Chris Hardwick, give us a call. But
Chris will be at the crossroads of the world.
That's right. Tonight at Caroline's.
Yeah.
I'll be playing Karpov tonight in Central Park.
I think you should go see Chris at Caroline's tonight through Sunday, 212-757-4100.
Sirius XM. The Virus.
Can you give me an example of what you're talking about?
This is the Opie and Anthony Show.
There you go.
Yeah, look at that.
A little live for everybody.
Travis remembers.
Chris Hardwick in studio playing Caroline's tonight through Sunday, 212-757-4100. Of course, the host of Web Soup, and he does a podcast. He does stand-up. What don't you do, Chris?
Chess jokes.
Chess. A little bowling. I wonder if his father is mentioned in Stephen Lynch's bowling song.
Oh, wow.
Probably not.
Why not?
You know, my dad
Is
was...
he in the Hall of Fame? You
He
said
is.
he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he is.
Huh.
He is.
Someone should
Could
go
be.
through the bowling song to see if Chris's father made it.
You never know because he is a bowling aficionado.
Aficionado,
He really
yes.
knows everything about
Yes.
bowling and got like all the bowlers' names into a song. Why you would want to do that? I don't know.
My best friend and I wrote a song about the numerical value of pi, so who knows why things happen the way they do.
That is pretty geeky.
Yeah, it's pretty...
What rhymes with 22/7?
On July 22nd, people on Twitter were like, "It's casual pi day, 22/7." I'm like, that's nerdy for me.
Really? Gonna know that? You've never went LARPing, have you?
I've not LARPed. But the chorus of the pi song is just digits of pi. And so because of that song, I know I've memorized like 150 digits of pi. It's sick.
That is bad.
It's useful for
At least
nothing.
it gets you laid.
How far?
Well, they rethink that.
How far in could you go? I could do
What?
3.14, and I'll go with 5. I think.
3.1415.
How far in could you go? Really?
It's pretty far. It's
Can we pop it up on the screen? I would love to do this as a little exercise for everybody.
All right.
Where's
Danny,
Danny?
unfortunately, taking an alcohol shit, I think.
You got to get that. You can't sweat it all out.
And
Yeah.
did you know it was 3.141 even?
No.
I knew 3.14, but after that, I'm dead.
Yeah, I just.
I want
know
to see how far he
3.14.
goes before his brain explodes.
What is pi? What exactly is it?
Pi is the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter, and really, it's a mathematical. You only really need a couple of digits, maybe 6 digits of pi to calculate any point in space. But it's just become this thing of like, now in Japan, trillions of digits. And
What do you mean to calculate any point in space? I can't wrap my head around math stuff like that, which is why I never did.
It's just a.
No, not PIE.
Oh, PI.
Travis just.
So this is why I'm in the other studio listening to the bowling
And now he's going to
song.
have private investigators popping up.
Magnum.
PIE into Google for.
Oh, you
pi.
really are a
Don't
dumb
look, Chris.
shit.
Don't look.
Holy
Chris is looking now. Don't look.
Oh, okay.
Holy
So wait,
shit,
Yeah, we want
Travis.
to see how far in you could go with the
Chris,
pi equals.
how do you calculate points in space with that?
Well, because it will tell you, because you can calculate a point in a circle, then you can plug it into any formula to calculate spatial relationships.
Why does the number never end? Why? Why is it just 3.5? Fuck.
All right.
It's an irrational number. It goes on and on.
Yeah,
and it
why
doesn't
can't we
repeat.
round it up a little bit?
It's an irrational number. It has a vagina.
That's right.
All right, you guys ready? Can you see this, Ant?
I see it.
With a big clit.
If you could go slow, because we're really stupid.
Let's see. 3.1415126535899793223846279309. And then it kind of gets a little hazy.
Holy shit. We couldn't even keep up with the cursor.
Wow.
We lost you somewhere.
Performing
after...
at Caroline's.
Sings pie.
He sings
For an
pie.
hour.
Dude, come on. That's some...
chess. He sings pie.
That might be the most
Ladies.
impressive thing I've ever seen
What are you
on this
talking
show.
about? You could hear the collective ovaries of New York drying up.
Yeah, but what the fuck, dude?
I know, right?
Wow, man.
Man, you were pretty impressed by that, huh?
That's pretty fucking impressive.
Yes.
I'll give you that. But I do like the singy song
You don't
thing
think your
had to
listeners
do.
are like, go back to the rape stories?
Yeah, what happened?
You kind of made it fun by singing it, though. So you know how to do good radio.
Went from Dakota Fanning in a bikini to digits of pi.
Yes. A couple of listeners are suggesting we beat you up for being able to do that.
That's fair. That's
That would
fair.
be-
That is fair.
You should sing that on America's Got Talent with like Gregory Hines tap shoes.
Jimmy?
Yes, sir.
Remember the Bobby Fischer guy?
I do.
He is back, and wait till you hear this one.
Okay, go.
He is willing to admit he made a mistake.
Is
Oh,
he?
good.
Wait
I know
till
he
you hear
did.
this. Alan in Princeton is back. Alan.
Good morning, boys.
Hi, Alan.
Oh, Alan. Oh, Alan.
I want to apologize, and I misspoke.
Yes, you did.
I looked up Eddie Fisher, and that's Carrie Fisher.
Carrie Fisher's father.
He ran into Eddie Fisher.
A little bit different. A little bit different of a guy.
What an idiot.
That's funny, man.
Eddie Fisher, the singer.
At least we know who the real racist is.
Yeah, exactly.
Negroids.
How great is that?
Do you know what struck me as
How
odd
great
besides
is
the
that?
date was when he said Bobby had dyed hair? I'm like, Fisher was not an appearance-obsessed guy. He didn't
No,
think
no.
Stripey's the type of guy who would dye his hair.
Didn't he kind of look like a Unabomber after a while?
Yeah, because
A
he
big
wouldn't
beard.
even get fucking metal in his teeth. 'Cause he thought it fucked with his head. He would only sit on certain chairs.
Well, it does.
When
yeah.
he played Spassky, you know.
It's crazy. You got to watch metal in your head.
You do, right?
They plant tracking devices in there.
They do?
It's in the tooth, Bob. It's in the tooth.
We did it to my
12
dog.
monkeys? No.
You know, you put the little
Yeah.
tracking chip in there.
Oh, yeah?
You're not going anywhere, buddy.
I'm finding
I
you
want to see
anywhere
12
you
Monkeys
go.
again.
12 Monkeys rules.
Michelle in Boston needs the Pie song. Where do they find the Pie song?
Oh, it's on iTunes. I have a comedy band called Hard and Firm with a PH.
Okay. So they'll find it, right?
Pie's on there. Yeah.
Yeah, do a little searching, Michelle. You'll find it.
We have a very liberal jury.
Let's go to Jamie in Pittsburgh. Jamie.
Morning, boys.
Hey, we're hanging with Chris Hardwick, man. I think we got a new friend to the show, man. He's cool.
Yeah, he's the best. I
Yeah.
just wondered if Yank Hard was going to get together.
That's hilarious. Weird Al Yankovic and I made a joke that we were going to do a comedy duo called Yank Hard.
All right, that'll work.
But we have not done that yet. Did he already hang
Not
up?
gonna
He just
get
said
some
that one
airplay.
thing and then he hung up.
Yeah, that's
And
what
he
they
bailed
do.
on you.
Yeah.
Hey, your
I like
friends.
to ask questions. I don't wait for answers. Oh, would you like to acquire the knowledge you were recently seeing? Nope. Nope. Just like to posit queries.
You're friends with Weird Al?
Yes.
How did that come about?
We became buddies through Tom Lennon.
He
Actually,
knows Will Wheaton.
everyone knows Will. You know, Al is a guy that I met, working at MTV in the old days, and then became reacquainted with through Tom Lennon, just doing shows at the UCB Theater in L.A. Bobby Fischer looks a lot like Jim Henson.
Yes, he does.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, yeah, he looked great.
That's a good
He
call.
looked great.
Look at what a mess.
Yeah.
Boy, was he mad. The fucking Jews! All he wanted to do was
Now, wait,
yell about them.
This was a post-mortem photo, right?
Yeah, he really does kind of look a little
This is like that Memento Mori that they used to do in the Victorian times where they photograph dead people.
Yeah, well, what a sick little custom that was.
Well, because no one ever was ever photographed, and so they felt that it was a way that they could have their souls live on. But if you ever want to be creeped out, just look up Memento Mori online.
Let's do it right now.
All right, Memento Mori, M-O-R-I.
The children ones are the Especially
the
best
babies
ones,
where they
the dead
try to make
babies.
them all.
Yeah, they try to make them look all cute and baby-like.
Why didn't they photograph them alive?
Because photography was too expensive, and so photography was a brand new medium.
Wait, that person's dead?
No, the baby is.
Baby's
The
dead.
baby's dead.
Dead baby.
What did the kid die of?
Just being a human. Anything killed you back then.
What are you kidding?
There's some dust in the air. Half the population's wiped out.
Dead.
Give me a ghoulish one.
How much were pictures back then?
I don't know, but typically it was because most people before that point, wealthy people would have portraits painted, and so photography came along, and it was relatively expensive at first, but it quickly became inexpensive. It was an inexpensive way for people to be represented because they couldn't afford.
Think they would have been weirded out by an iPad back then?
Yeah, I always wonder that. Like, if you could drag someone in time and go, here's where we are now, if they could even wrap their mind around it, they'd be like, yeah, back, fiend.
They'd probably break it with a rock and burn you alive.
Witch. They would.
Yeah, just seeing a plane in the sky has got to be.
I always thought how odd it would be for Orville or Wilbur Wright to sit in the seat of an Airbus.
Sure.
And just look out the window and go like, yeah, because it was such a hassle to just fly that stupid Wright Flyer. And just to sit there and you're having a drink and you're in a comfy seat and just looking out the window.
We got our plane off the ground for 13 minutes. Yeah, like a foot. Big fucking deal. See you in New York.
Just rub it in that.
See you in New York.
Yeah, just rub it in that you made his idea way better.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty morbid right there.
Yeah, I guess they did it with
dead
the kids
baby.
mostly.
They loved it. They loved the babies.
Reminds me of a great scene in.
Dead.
God, that's creepy. The sunken eyes and gaunt face make the post-mortem below haunting. The profile view is unique to our collection. Oh. Look at him. He looks like...
Hang on, guys. I just got to crank this one out really fast.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Don't scroll.
Yes, leave that little coffin there.
Look at that baby in a baby coffin.
Yeah.
Moments before being placed in the earth.
What were they thinking?
Well, for them, it was just a way to let them live on. Like it was,
Yeah.
They pose like the mother and father are holding the dead baby.
Why didn't they do one while the kid was alive? Fucking assholes.
That's interesting when they're alive. Then they're in your face all the time. Here, it's like,
And you had to stay still when they took pictures back then, and there's no way you could stay still that long if you were a baby.
That was exactly.
You know?
That was like Victorian Kmart. They had to take those pictures. Memento Mori.
Bring your dead baby.
Bring your dead babies
dead
into
baby
JC
glamour
Penney's.
shots.
All
So
these
would you
people
like
are dead?
Yeah.
Okay, now we're all right. No. All right, we got some people calling in. Jeff in Cleveland. Jeff.
Hey, yeah, great show, guys. Hey,
We know that. Yeah, get used to it. Actually, don't.
Hey, I want to know about Adam Sessler. Does he have a deal with the devil? I mean, that guy's been on since you guys were ZDTV.
Yeah. There's a couple people that have been around a long time. Even since Tech TV. Morgan's been around since then, and Kevin Pereira's actually been there. Kevin Pereira was like an intern, and they just kind of stuck him on screensavers, and then it became Attack of the Show. Yeah, Adam's been there a while. He might be the head vampire.
I used to watch screensavers.
Well, I like him. I like you guys. Don't change anything. Don't get rid of Adam just because he's kind of look like Chris Loder now.
Well, I don't have that power, but I appreciate your crediting me with the ability to get rid of people.
Yeah, you're like hiring and firing.
Sessler, it's Hardwick.
Wow, Jim Henson and
That is
Bobby
amazing.
Fischer
See?
nailed it. Chris Hardwick.
Wow.
Yeah, they're pretty similar.
That is amazing.
Yeah. Let's say hi to Chris in Delaware. Chris.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is a bit out of context at this point,
Who cares?
but I hope you got it. You haven't seen it yet, but it's fastforwardblowjobs.com.
I've seen fastforwardblowjobs.com. Have you, Chris Hardwick?
No.
It's
more morning fare.
It's some terrific morning fare.
A little
You've never. This is
little 2X
hilarious.
sex.
It's very funny.
Oh my lord. That's not okay.
Can you put this on Web Soup, please?
Yep, we can put this on Web Soup. Yep. This weirdly satisfies two fetishes. The chipmunk fetish and the hyperspeed blowjob fetish.
Alvin! Swallow that cum!
Wow.
What the fuck?
It's hilarious.
Who thought this would be funny? Because they were right.
Regular blowjobs are fine, but what would it be like in a time warp?
This is how a blowjob would be as you approached a black hole.
Because cum is like two rivers.
Meet you cock and mouth.
Yeah, these porn stars age like dogs, like 1 year for every 7. So, like, why would you want to take any more time away from them?
Yeah. You can actually see them aging.
You can see them aging. If it's
Hey,
in fast forward.
That's great.
I got very good news for you, Chris. Sean in Georgia.
Hey guys, hey, I think Chris's dad is mentioned in Stephen Lynch's
Bowling song.
Bowler song.
Did we get to the bottom of that?
That's
We don't know yet.
I was halfway through when I came in here.
Oh, really? What happened to Danny?
Check out
Probably in the bath. He's having some trouble.
He's having some ass problems.
That's pretty
Ass
awesome. I would love to know that my dad made it into
We could
the.
play it towards the end of the show.
Yeah, we
Stephen
will.
Lynch song, yeah.
We'll have to.
Because I
do
grew
that
up
for
with most of those. I'm sure I grew up with everyone who's
so you'll know
in that
You'll
song.
probably
Yeah.
know every bowler
Malachi?
in there.
Yeah. No.
No.
You knew
Is it
most of those
Malachi
guys?
in there?
Isn't that
Yeah.
his made-up guy's name?
Oh,
or
maybe
something?
that's the made-up guy.
I was named after the commentator Chris Schenkel.
No
Whoa.
shit.
Yeah.
He did the bowling fucking commentary.
Because my
Remember
mom
Chris Schenkel?
thought I was going to be a girl. Who's got a dick now, Mom? and so she thought I was going to be a girl. And so Chris Schenkel said, "Oh, if it's a boy, name him Christopher." And she was like, "Okay, sure." And then I ended up being a boy, and so I ended up being
there's one
Christopher.
for the old timers out there. Chris Schenkel.
Schenkel.
He did bowling.
Wide World of Sports.
Yep, Wide World of Sports.
His sport was, I think, bowling.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what other
Very
ones
sweet man.
he was a commentary for. I don't remember.
I've watched on ESPN Classic some of the old Wide World of Sports, and it's amazing what was considered sports back then. There was a stadium, I think it was like in Los Angeles, full of people, fucking packed for dog frisbee. And
Yeah, but
they just woo.
Barrel jumping.
Yeah, but to be
Remember
fair, we have
barrel
like
jumping?
chariot racing, and there's all sorts of silliness now. But when you look at athletes back then, they were kind of doughy and built like fucking
barrels,
like sheds, and now just dudes are ripped.
Yeah. No one was cut.
No.
Yeah.
Had abs. It was just these barrel-chested guys.
Remember before steroids, when guys got strong, just like picking up kegs and cars and shit, like those fucking strongman competitions
I love
on
the old
ESPN.
strongman competitions. They're great. You gotta toss these cement-filled barrels.
Drag this truck with your teeth. Try not to shit your pants.
No safety wasn't even taken into consideration.
No, fuck no.
Brian Regan's bit on that is great.
Oh, where he's watching the guy throw pianos into a second-story window. He's like, they don't have to be there.
You're right.
What are you doing? Stop, put that down.
That is a great Brian Regan.
Oh, Brian's fantastic.
I had a Brian Regan moment this morning at the hotel where a woman working at the hotel said, "Have a great stay." And I was like, "You too!
You too.
Have a great stay at that thing you said."
If you're going to be staying at a place like I'm staying.
Portable generators for camping, hunting, boats.
This isn't
Spanning the globe.
This isn't the original one, though.
No?
I think
Spanning the globe.
That's Jim McKay, right?
Yeah, definitely Jim McKay.
The thrill of victory.
Uh-oh.
The agony of defeat.
And then, of course,
I love the best part.
this idiot.
This
And the
jerk.
agony of defeat.
That was YouTube before YouTube.
Yeah,
the agony of defeat guy.
The human drama of
That
athletic
was
competition.
He was viral.
Bobby Fischer. Visual, sorry.
This is ABC.
Oh, that's a normal one.
Soccer, still boring, even back then.
Ford and your local Ford dealer.
God, I used to watch this. Amazing how this show would just, no one would watch this now.
At all.
I know.
No,
and
it would be a rough one
it
to
was-
sell to the networks.
Dude, everyone watched this.
Dude, you remember This Week in Baseball before the fucking... You had to watch that to see what the other teams were doing. Mel Allen.
You'd have to wait a whole week
Mel Allen.
to see what everyone else
I
was
was having
doing.
a conversation with someone the other day. We were talking about the old Dr. Demento show.
I love
and
Dr.
And so
Demento.
it came on Sunday nights in Memphis. And I think it's funny that there was a period of time where there was appointment radio, where like if you didn't listen to Dr. Demento on Sunday nights, it was gone
You missed
forever.
it was gone.
You had
Never
to
to be
be
heard.
in front of a radio to consume your entertainment.
Appointment
We used,
radio.
we used to trade the cassettes of Dr. Demento.
Yes.
What do you got? Well, I got this. I forgot all the fucking songs that we used to love.
Wow.
We would trade that shit.
My Bologna,
Right. I forgot.
Dead Puppies,
My
Kinko the
Bologna.
Clown.
Yeah, you remember.
Instead of Sharona.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah. It was early Weird Al.
Jimmy's teeth hurt.
That fucking makes my gums itch. Horrendous.
I wish people could see the face you were making. It just looks like you swallowed a bad plum. plum or something.
You want to hear
I don't
my
think that was
bologna?
good.
I'm sure we got my
No.
bologna.
No, I'm sure it's all my bologna. I like to eat it.
That's exactly what it is.
You nailed it.
It was Weird Al's like first song when he was at
Tell us something.
Caltech.
Tell us something about Weird Al we don't know.
Weird Al has a Segway in his house, and the first time you go to his house, he makes you do a lap on the Segway.
On a Segway.
What's a Segway?
Like the Segway, the cart. Yeah,
He's rich, isn't he?
he's of course.
Well, yeah.
Made a
And he's
lot of
also
money on
like,
those
He did
songs.
eat
he's
it.
the nicest guy in the world. Love Weird Al. I touched his Eat It Grammy when he was out of the room.
Damn.
Like, I gotta touch the Eat It Grammy. Oh.
What was the Grammy for? Best comedy recording or something?
It was, yeah, I'm sure it was.
Eat It fucking did very well.
Destroyed.
Yeah, it did very
Was that
well.
a Dr. Demento song? No.
It got, I mean, he played it, yeah.
Wait,
but
Dirty Deeds Done with Sheep?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah. That's all Dr. Demento
Can we
shit.
hear a little of this guaranteed laugh getter?
Everyone's got to start somewhere, Jimmy.
Wait, was this Al Yankovic?
I was a
No.
fan of the
Oh.
really weird songs that weren't parodies that were on Dr.
Yeah,
Demento.
Kinko the Clown. There was a band called Ogden Edsel. And Kinko the Clown and Dead Puppies, like those weird
Fish Heads.
Barnes and Barnes.
Yeah, that was
Bill Mooney.
I know. We learned that only
Yes.
recently, too.
Oh, really?
No,
Only
I
recently.
knew that.
Did you know?
Don't lump me in the
Roly
category
poly
of not
fish
knowing
heads.
what...
I've never seen drink
I didn't
cappuccino
know.
in Italian restaurants with Oriental women. Yeah. Yeah, that was a...
I know
What do you
my
want to hear,
Bill
Jimmy?
Mooney
You want to hear
trivia.
my bologna today?
Yes, I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
We like Weird Al, Chris. I know you're friends.
He's a good guy.
Sure he is.
We'll have to have him on the show now.
Yeah, I'm sure we'd love to have him on, do some songs.
Jimmy.
hates Weird Al.
Jim couldn't even finish that sentence.
I don't hate him. I just my,
Not your cup of tea.
Oh, John Valby to me is the song parody guy.
John Valby rules.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah,
Tom Lehrer is the guy.
But
if you
fucking
want to talk-
Valby's a jerk. He wouldn't do any of our shows. He would rather do an 80-seat fucking venue in the middle of
Valby's
nowhere.
a kook. He's
All
not
right,
a jerk. He's a kook.
He's a kook. He'd appreciate that I called him a jerk, though.
Archival footage.
I mean, Tom Lehrer is a guy who was writing pot songs in the 1940s.
Yeah?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I thought
What are we
I
doing?
really
We doing
liked
this?
the Jaws song.
No, don't
What was
do
the
that.
Jaws song?
No, that's the Dickie Goodman shit.
Dickie Goodman.
I was never a fan of the Dickie Goodman
Dickie
shit.
Goodman stunk.
All right,
Glad
well-
he's dead. He shot himself. Should have done it a lot earlier.
Is My Bologna going to play, or is it...
Yeah, what is this?
I was waiting for you guys.
Oh,
Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Oh, yeah. I remember this. Hate to admit I remember this.
Ooh, my little hungry one, hungry one. Open up a package of my bologna. Ooh, I think the
Jimmy,
toast
okay?
is done. Toast is done. Top it with a little of my bologna.
I know the story behind this video.
Me too.
Such a tasty
Who wants to start? Jimmy?
This was I was at Caltech, and this is before people were really making a lot of music videos. And this guy's like, I want to do an experimental thing, and so they shot this video. It's only 2 camera angles.
Wow.
There you go.
There you go.
Weird Al with his accordion.
That's an accordion.
What do we know? He's a multi-millionaire.
And Jimmy just grimacing.
It's not my thing, but again, the guy's a massively successful artist.
There's
To be
no
fair.
one else. Like, there's no other parody guy, really. It's Weird
Nah,
Al.
he
That's
was
pretty
the
much
guy.
it.
He was the only guy.
He was the main parody guy for a long fucking time.
And talk about having giant budget videos after a while. He got like videos that had big sets and
Well,
a
all
lot
of the music
people.
industry would spend millions of dollars on videos.
Yeah.
Like, after Michael Jackson and John Landis broke the $1 Million Thriller.
Yeah, that
like
was
after that, it was
over.
like, oh, now everyone's going to make $1 million video.
Yeah, yeah.
That don't happen so much no more.
No, they kind of pulled back.
Well, someone's going to turn us on to a parody song here today. Brian in Philly. Brian.
Hey, good morning, Opie, Anthony, Jimmy.
Hello.
There's
What about Chris?
two statements for the Dr. Demento show that I always enjoyed growing up. One was it was the Ballad of Irving, the 142nd fastest gun in the West. I don't remember who sings it though. And the other one was by former wrestler Fred Blassie, the
Pencil Neck Geek. Yeah, that was a
Yep.
big Dr. Demento song.
Pac-Man Fever was a big song.
Pac-Man
Remember,
Fever.
remember the Curly Shuffle?
Yes, of course. The curly shuffle.
That was the Jump in the Saddle Gang.
Do you remember?
And then, of course, oh no, you
Oh, God, the Duke.
That was so bad.
I don't have it in front of me right at this moment, unfortunately.
I get such chills.
Hey, by the-
I can't
I
listen to it.
don't want to make everyone feel bad, but you know this is what old people sit around and do.
I know. What are you going to do?
And remember, there was a flugelhorn player who...
Remember
You
that?
know what, fucker? Now I'm going to play it for you.
Oh, it's terrible.
What the fuck is it?
I can't take that song. It
I
sucks.
was at a diner in
E-Rock, help me out.
in the middle of Hollywood once, and there was a table full of character actors like Chuck McCann and like all these character actors that you would recognize from the 60s, 70s, 80s. And I was listening to them shit on like the young alternative comics like Janine and like all this. It was crazy where they were like,
yeah.
they don't know about joke writing. It was the funniest as a comic. It was really funny. I mean,
Yeah,
because they're talking about all these people that I love. But they were just kind of like old, like the old generation shitting on the young
They'll never
generation.
understand how it's a lost art.
Right. It's better than Disco Duck.
Wow.
You got off
yeah.
easy. That song is brutal. How
It's brutal,
bad,
but it's better than Disco Duck.
What isn't
Disco
really?
Duck.
You could say that about fucking SIDS.
Disco Duck.
My favorite clip of Disco Duck is in Saturday Night Fever, when the dance instructor guy is teaching the old people how to disco duck, and he's talking about how, hey Tony, I'm holding steady at 75%.
There was the movie Blind Date with Bruce Willis and Kim Basinger came on the other night, and there's like some Rick Dees comedy song in there too, like it's Rick Dees and here's a bit of comedy. So
Horrible.
Is this Disco?
Oh yeah.
All the ladies were treating me right.
Nice. Sing it, Rick.
Moving my feet to the disco beat.
Boy, wouldn't it have been great to have been working in radio in the 70s?
Oh, how easy.
Be a boss jock.
A super jock like Wolfman Jack.
That's it. 100,000 watts coming out of Mexico.
What a genius, right?
Just fucking baking the microwaving animals near the fucking stick. That's horrible. Stupid Disco Duck.
Yeah.
That was played like, oh my God, was that played like a motherfucker. I remember getting into the car with Mommy driving to Grandma's house, and that thing would just be fucking wailing.
What, with Disco Duck?
Yes. Played all
What
the
a great time
People
for
love
entertainment. I mean,
novelty
like,
songs.
I always think now is a great time for young entertainers because, people can get their shit out in the world the way that they never could before. But back then, if you hit it, you fucking hit it because there were only 3 channels.
Yeah, there was
and
really
people were
nowhere else to
probably
go.
going to see you because everyone had to watch those 3 channels. And now it's just like, you can go.
Like, oh yeah, the fucking JetBlue guy. He's famous.
You could do it. You could do stand up on a talk show like 100 times, and it still it wouldn't. It doesn't
Doesn't
really
matter.
register.
No one cares anymore. It's
Doesn't
like, oh
register.
really? I have fucking 3 million hits on my YouTube video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
big
it's you get edged out by the baby that gets bitten by a duck video or whatever.
You're
that's
right.
that's the
By Charlie Bit Me.
Fucking right,
Or
man.
Charlie Bit Me.
Charlie. Oh, Charlie. Charlie. Ouch. That is hysterical.
very
and I don't
cute.
know why. I don't know why that is so fucking funny.
Because he's scolding the baby like an adult. First of all, the accent's
Charlie.
cute.
The accent's adorable.
That hurt. Yeah.
But it's no double rainbow.
Oh,
Double rainbow.
So my girlfriend explained Double Rainbow to me before I saw it, and I was like, that sounds like the dumbest thing in the history of humanity. And then the minute he opens his mouth and I heard, full rainbow, I was like, I just thought the entire time.
That drinking out of cups is just hysterical. Drinking out of cups.
The big one now is Ice Cream Truck guy, though. You've seen the
guy that got hit by the ice cream truck is good, but
you've seen that one, right, Chris?
No, can you pull it up?
Oh, and we interviewed the guy. We got the big exclusive interview.
Yeah, the exclusive.
It's already popping 3 million views or something like that.
Jeez.
Here
What
we
a
go.
guy. Yeah, this guy is
See, if you were doing Web Soup, you would be all over this one.
I know,
today.
we're on hiatus right now.
Yeah, this guy. And he turned out to be a really cool guy. He called our show. He survived what you're about to see.
we don't know why he's walking into an intersection and then dancing in the street.
Yeah.
He just starts doing this backwards dance.
Yeah,
He's not really looking
at all.
He said he looked.
There's
and
no
didn't
crosswalk.
He didn't
Not
see anything
really.
coming.
Well, clearly he's trying to make a kooky video.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he gets hit by an ice cream truck.
Oh, damn! Did he get nailed?
That was the sound of a human being. You know,
More morning fare
when people
for
get
you.
hit, when people get hit by machines, it's not like in the movies where it goes. It's like a sack of meat.
Yeah, it is really
getting
a loud,
slammed against
It's
the
an
wall.
uncomfortable sound to hear.
Thwack.
Yeah, he's fine though.
Fantastic.
Broke ribs, this and
I feel
that.
like it'd be one of those
wrist.
sound effects CDs. African American being hit by ice cream truck. Like it's a very specific sound.
I can think of a better title for that, though.
A little shorter.
A little shorter.
I mean, since Eddie Fisher used Negroid,
Yes.
I felt that was racist.
Andy in Cleveland's got one. Andy.
Hey, going back with a classic internet audio bit, Donald Duck gets a blowjob.
You know what? There was a
God.
time we played that on our radio show.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Have you ever
Jesus.
heard this one?
Yes.
I think it was. I think a radio guy out of St. Louis came up with it, and it became fucking huge. We have that. Let me see if we got this.
Gets a
for-
blowjob. 455,000 views.
It's everywhere. The internet's got everything.
Oh my God, I feel so good. Oh yeah. Oh, slow down. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?
You need to put this over fast forward blowjobs.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, play with my balls.
Who's clapping in the background?
Oh, I feel so good. Yeah, just roll them around in a circle. Oh my God, I love it when you. Uh-oh, slow down. Don't move. I'll go get you a towel.
Since he was probably the first guy to do that,
Right.
Yeah.
you gotta give him some props for that.
Fuck, dude, 500,000 views just about, and it's not even a video. Little audio thing for everybody.
Of course, I just saw Darth Vader gets a blowjob. Everyone gets a blowjob.
I have a 3 million hit video. On,
God damn.
That's something.
What's that one?
That was my famous
Horse gag.
Horse gag, yeah.
Tub Girl, see? That's the,
famous install Vista
Very
in 2
geeky.
minutes. That was a while ago.
This is Windows
On my full
Vista.
goatee.
This
It's almost
is the new
4
exciting
million.
operating system
Oh,
from
wow.
Microsoft.
Wow.
Come on, guys, let's push it over the top.
I would
4
have
million.
loved to
4 mil.
upgrade
Come on, do it
to
today.
And you would think with the disc and everything I would have been able to do that. But I popped it in my machine, and it seems to be incompatible with everything I have in my computer. Now you're probably saying,
This
"Ah,
got
your computer's
everybody
probably old."
on the Mac
No,
Vista
it's
fight
brand
thing.
new.
So I was
it
able to get a lot of
just
hits
didn't
because
work. I
people
got the
calling me a
blue screen of
fanboy
death
and
numerous
trying to
times.
analyze the video to see
And,
what was on the
I'm gonna see if
shelf
I can
there to
load
see
it
if Mac stuff was up
into
there.
another
I get
machine.
That I'm a
so
Mac
much shit.
fanboy.
I get so much
It'll be a
shit on
little more
G4 from fans who, when I talk about Apple, they're like, "You sucking Steve Jobs' cock," and I'm like, you know, what do you think I get out of this? Like, I like stuff that I like. Apple doesn't give anything to anybody. I just like stuff that I like.
Yeah, whatever you like, you like. That's just it.
You know, but there's a great article on fanboyism, and it just talks about how, you know, when you say you like Apple, you're what you're really doing is attacking a core belief system of someone who's a PC person.
Yeah,
and they take it as a personal attack, and so they have to tell you what a piece of shit you are.
I have both. I think you kind of need both in this day and age. I got
or all
Windows.
three. Linux.
Yeah, right. I need 16 different operating systems in my house, please. Because there are certain things that just run better on Windows and others that run better on Mac.
Yeah. Yeah, like, you know, if you run music software or editing software, you know,
Right.
like Mac's the way to go. There was no good software
and
for PC that was comparable.
And for
in my opinion.
gaming, especially years ago, it was all about you walked into a store, now you can't find anything for computers, it's all console gaming. But when I was walking into a store, you know, years ago, there'd be this little section for Mac, and it's like, oh, great.
Oh, that tiny little
What are you
software
gonna-
section.
There's no games available, and then just Windows. And
A
whole
notes-taking
walls are covered.
program.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, if you want a good PC game system, then you have to go Alienware. Though is the good
Yeah, it's
PC game
amazing.
system. They have insane stuff.
Yep.
We forgot to do the Highway comic.
You see, you teased it. Didn't tell us.
And we got some comics in studio. We got Chris Hardwick playing Carolines all weekend long, and of course, little Jimmy Norton. It's a guy selling jokes to make your day better.
Okay,
You want to check this out?
I do.
Yes, it's the Highway comic, everyone.
Guy bugs me his name.
People are doing what they can to make ends meet, and for one man, that means spending his free time on the highway, making people smile.
Right, my wife calls me her little lava lamp.
Okay.
Interesting to watch, but not very bright.
All right, that's Dan.
And what's happened is the guy hands you he has a bucket of shit and a ladle, and you can fling it on him.
That reminds me of something that Mel Brooks said once. Wit is shit. Funny is money.
All right, that's Don Hepner. He's a stand-up comedian, and he sells jokes to passerbys for 50 cents apiece. He got the idea after the local comedy club there shut down. He says he has about 90 jokes ready to go to make people laugh with as much money as they have. Hepner estimates that he makes about $20 an hour in his new gig. Pretty cool.
Hey, darling, I gave my wife a milk bath for her birthday. The cow sat on her.
That was worth 50 cents?
Wow. He's good.
I love how the news guy goes, pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool.
Trying to sell it.
Right.
Yeah, we're doing some special interest stories now.
Yeah.
I'm really branching out.
Right. Pretty cool.
I know how to live.
He's panhandling, is what I say.
He's basically panhandling.
He's on the side of the road. He's got a bucket, and people have their windows rolled down. He tells a joke, and they give him money.
He reminds me of the taxi driver that Jimmy brought in one day.
Oh, God.
The positive cabbie.
His name is the Positive Cabbie. He has all red, white, and blue. He's got a flag tie. And what does he do? He gives you a card as soon as you get in the cab?
Yeah, he's a horse's ass. He gives you a card and he rambles about how he's the courteous cabbie, and it's just it's fucking penance.
Yeah, it's all
your
just
ride.
positive.
Welcome to the Soup Kitchen Comedy Club. There's a 2-soup minimum.
Yeah. Hey, let's go to Mike in Hoboken. Mike.
Hey, boys.
What's up?
There's a video clip out there right now called Darth Schwarzenegger, where they take a Star Wars clip and they just remove James Earl Jones and they threw Arnold Schwarzenegger in there, and it fits perfect. You guys might enjoy it.
Why would? But
are you kidding me? I don't know
anything
if
with
we're gonna
Arnold
enjoy
in
this.
it? Come on.
Yeah, Arnold's
I know Arnold's passe.
passe.
The listeners suck.
All right, we're going to try it.
I'm a listener,
All right,
so
you know
I
what?
may suck.
Who are we? We're going to try it. Right now, we're going to try it. Darth Schwarzenegger.
I knew this man.
Oh, it's real clips.
Green Berets out of Fort Bragg. Now, what the hell were they doing here?
Right?
I mean, it stinks. It stinks.
First of all, it's not enough.
This
We're just
music. It's not
watching.
interesting or funny.
Oh, here we go.
Excuse me, I have a few more questions if you don't mind.
Oh.
You mean you did not have sexual relations with him? Answer the question!
We intercepted no transmissions. This is a consular ship. We're on a diplomatic mission.
You fucking choir boy compared to me! I'm choir boy!
That's not.
That's all right.
That's all right.
I take it back.
He's dead already.
See?
Clear the area. No traces. Get the main ready to move.
All right, it's done well.
Not bad.
It's done well.
Yeah.
It's Arnold's. Yeah, it's real Arnold's. I thought it was somebody doing a bad Arnold impression.
What a shock. I was being a reactionary jerk off. Who would guess? Put my fucking foot in my mouth.
The Imperial Senate will not sit still for this. When they hear you've attacked a diplomat...
We want to know the most intimate details about your life. You better tell us. Did you sleep with him? So you cooked up a story and dropped the 6 of us in a meat grinder.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a member of the Imperial Senate on a diplomatic mission to Alderaan.
You're a damaged goods lady. Fuck you.
It got way better.
That was good.
Let's just start off slow.
That's off a little slow.
Fuck
Word of
you.
this gets out. It could generate sympathy for the rebellion in the Senate.
I don't know what the crazy bitch is.
He's my governor.
Thinking about the business.
She'll die before she'll tell you anything.
Still weird, by the way. I just want you guys to know
It's gotta be.
That's still weird.
It's gotta be whenever you watch a movie. It's like, oh my god, that's our governor.
A little strange.
That's okay. We got fucking Governor Cockeyed over here in New York. It's great. He signs a bill. He puts his nose on the paper and he can't see.
Oh, really?
I can't see. God damn it!
Are you guys going to see the Expendables this weekend?
Yeah, I think it's going to be
absolutely.
huge.
It's gonna be.
I bet it's going to be like. I bet it's going
I
to.
can't even imagine. Is there anything like what was the budget of that movie? Like it better.
Yeah. I can't imagine that it's going to. That's how our governor look. Hey,
oh,
Governor,
hey
Governor,
there.
where am I?
Hey, buddy. Hey. Oh, that's what is that? Is that Armisen doing a?
Yeah, he does
Armisen
that.
Yeah.
Show the sign of him signing. How great is that?
That's how he signs.
That's
the
how he
bill.
signs
Oh
bills.
no!
Just get fucking glasses.
It looks like Tony Montana at the end of Scarface.
Gotta get organized. Hangs up the phone.
Organized.
50 guys with machine guns. Gotta get organized. Hangs up the phone and he straightens the coke pile.
That's his organizing.
Yeah, wow, talking about
All
spring
done.
cleaning. He his sister's body he pushes to the side.
Why would they let him drive a Segway? If it doesn't seem safe.
He was over. Well, I forget about it.
Oh,
I'm
okay, that's
even
not
gonna
him.
say
Oh,
it.
okay, no, that's another guy.
Yeah,
That's another guy.
garbage day. Everyone's suggesting viral videos now. I'm sure you don't want to talk about viral videos.
Oh, I'll
when
talk
you're-
about whatever you
That's
want.
his job, for God's sake.
Really?
I don't mind.
It's like your dad not wanting to bowl anymore.
No, it's fine.
By the way, your dad's not in the bowling. So
God damn it!
Sorry, Chris.
Fuck you, Stephen Lynch.
I'll take it up with Mr. Lynch next
How
time
is
we
it
get
not in
we see
there?
him.
Hey, did you hear about the iPhone having problems with the antenna?
Yeah, I maybe heard a thing or two about that.
Guy who's 8 years late with all tech news.
Well, let's get going here. We got some plugs to get to.
Yes.
Wow.
Chris has 1.3 million followers on Twitter. Nerdist, if you want to start following him.
Yeah.
And his comedy will be at Caroline's starting tonight through Sunday, 212-757-4100.
Oh my God! Please come to the show. God damn it! Please.
Yes.
I
Oh
think-
wait, was that too desperate?
Nah, you're gonna do just fine.
Fuck
at
it.
Caroline's.
That's how I feel in every city I go to.
Please show up at my show.
Yeah.
God. You know, it says comedy is the simplest formula in the world. If people show up, you can perform. But it is one of the fucking hardest formulas in the world to achieve.
And then you make excuses,
man.
Jimmy, when it's a little light out there.
No, yeah, you're like, must be something going on in town. And the staff is humiliated for you on some level when they're cutting waitresses on the Saturday Late Show. And like, there's that festival in
there was
town
the-
in 2 weeks. People don't have
there's
money. It's the economy. And,
Oh, Jim, plague outbreak. There was a little plague. Just a little plague wiped out 3/4 of the population, so I'm sorry.
so who was here last week? Bruce. We
Killed
added,
it.
we added
Killed
a Sunday
it.
show.
Yeah, killed it.
Good, that's great.
You never
And a
wanna hear that.
matinee. And a matinee.
Who was here? Well, the Hypnotist sold out 8 straight.
Yeah, he's a ventriloquist hypnotist. He's great.
Is that true? I would have gotten news on that. Feedback says Web Soup covered my karaoke video. I don't think Web Soup did.
It was another.
Your phone's upside down.
Yeah, I know. I look at my crack.
Oh no!
Yeah, it gives it personality.
That's the problem. Now it has a little asshole on it.
Yeah, it does. A little
And one
pucker.
holding it.
The setup and the spike.
Nice. Oh God.
Well, Chris, this was a pleasure, man.
It was so nice to finally come on your show
Absolutely.
and see you guys, and nice shot, and get to talk. Are you performing this? Are you performing anything?
I'm in town
you,
for a
Jimmy.
while, and then I go back out to Charlie Goodnight's in North Carolina, and I forget where else.
I'm glad this favor worked out for everybody because we were told to take it as a favor. I'm like, I think he'll just fit in.
That's nice.
And then we joked about before you got
Favor.
here that we were bringing you in as a
Like,
favor.
no
to
one
somebody.
wants to hear they're a favor.
Did my mom get me on the show? This is Chris's mom, you guys. Please for me.
No, trust me. We knew it would be it would be great for us to have you on the show, Chris.
Well, it was a pleasure to be here, gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris Hardwick, make sure you see him at Caroline's tonight through Sunday, 212-757-4100. I think that's it for us today.
Yes, it is.
Chris, thank you.
Good day. Thank you.
Good job,
guys.
man.
Thanks.